There you go. Two good programs. Ought to be a lot of fun for you tonight.
It should be. Two of the best running backs in the city on the field tonight. Bubba Johnson from Johnson. And Cole.
That'll be fun. Bubba Johnson.
Yeah, well, I mean, his real name is Lauren, but he goes by Bubba, and Bubba is a hell of a player. And and Cole Pryor, who's committed to the Air Force Academy, he's the star running back for the Reagan Rattlers.
Nice. That will be a lot of fun. It's good to be back out at Hero Stadium. This is by far, I wouldn't say by far, but it's certainly one of the elite high school football stadiums in this town, without a doubt.
One of the newer ones.
Absolutely.
Although it feels like it's been around for a long time.
But I've always liked this stadium because it's you get a nice breeze going through here all the time.
Yeah, but my windows don't open in this press box, so I never know about the breeze.
Well, you got an air conditioner.
I've got an air. I'm not complaining, but I do like a press
Sounds
box
like you're complaining.
where the windows open. There is something about having your windows being open.
Dude, it's too damn hot.
Feel the band, smell the popcorn, eat the Frito pie, which we'll get the Frito pie, although it's not necessarily the best Frito pie in the city here at Hero Stadium.
Hero's a little lacking, huh?
It's at the bottom of the ladder right now as far as the totem pole rankings of Frito pie.
So you've done a game from here.
We have. Yeah.
I must have been on location somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that's possible.
Yeah,
we opened the season here. And so for 1 week, they were on the top of the Frito Pie leaderboard because it was one of one at the time. And everywhere else we've gone, it has gotten better.
Yeah, well.
Although last week's at Alamo Stadium was lacking.
It was?
There were a lot of things at Alamo Stadium that didn't quite make sense.
Like desk space.
Well, desk space is one. It is not the easiest of working environments, but I don't even bitch about that, because it's all about the Frito pie. So the game kicks off last week. It kicked off at 7:00. Concession stands opened at 6:30.
What?
Most places, concession stands open at least an hour before the game.
People can get their stuff, go sit down, enjoy it.
And Alamo Stadium is the rare cash-only facility.
Oh,
which,
okay.
Not that big of a deal, except for a whole lot of people don't carry cash. And so that slowed things down in the line. And now they did their Frito pie in the bag where they open up the bag of Fritos and put the chili and the cheese in there. That's good. It's a little bit messier than it needs to be. But so I like the old school approach to it. It got style points for that. But the chili part was lacking. So
Wolf Brand or Hormel?
Not even. I'm not sure what that was. I mean, it wasn't bad,
right?
But it wasn't great.
Okay.
So I would say Heroes, if I wanted to be super critical, I could put them below Heroes, but Heroes needs to step up their game to move up the ladder.
Well, I'd be really disappointed because you got Reagan, you got Johnson. I mean, that ought to be on the same line as an Alamo Heights.
So you think we should get Wagyu chili tonight?
I think so, and fresh shredded cheese and all of that stuff.
I know I told you this story before, but a couple weeks ago, I ran into Kelly Parker, the athletic director here at NEISD at a local sandwich spot for lunch. And, I walk in and he's sitting there with Coach Greathouse, another athletic director, and some others. And so I bring up this problem that he didn't know he had. He was completely unaware of it. And he said he would get to the bottom of it.
He hasn't?
I texted Coach Greathouse yesterday and no. No.
So that kind of went one in and out the other, and when you left, it gets that Minnix.
No, they probably didn't think about it again. But then again, Kelly Parker's at a great sandwich spot, and he's ordering a salad. That was a damn good-looking salad, but
at a sandwich place, a damn good sandwich place.
Yeah, a damn good sandwich place, and he ordered a salad.
Some people mix in a salad from time to time.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, that's not on my thing to do, but whatever. But I really wish they would upgrade the the Frito pie here at Hero Stadium.
I'd really be disappointed.
What I don't understand is why is the Frito pie at Comalander different than the Frito pie at Heroes?
Well, don't the boosters make that stuff?
No, well, I mean, the boosters run it, but there's one person that orders it, is what he was telling me.
Okay.
So he doesn't understand why it'd be different. It should be the same.
It should be.
Yet it's not.
This is an investigation.
Dude, I don't know who's the current I-team investigator type at local TV stations. Because it seems like Dylan Collier and Emily Bauckham and all those people have left. But this would be a story that Emily Bauckham would tackle like a pit bull.
Well, I would think so. I'll call my buddy Barry Davis.
Barry Davis
Would get to the bottom of the Frito pie controversy.
Pit bulls, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Barry, I was going to say Henry Ramos, but he's now main anchor guy. So
yeah, he's a big shot.
He's not going to go do.
Well, Barry's the guy in the morning, so I don't know if he would. He may not be awake at this time of day.
Well, he might not be. I saw Vinny Vancetta the other day. He's now on the routine or on the rotation of doing neighborhood eats.
Is that right?
He is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should talk to your friends more often.
Well, I guess I should.
He's got to do it about once a month. Eggleston gets to record it. So, Marvin Hurst leaves, and so now they're spreading that stuff around. Maybe they need to do a neighborhood eats on stadium food.
Maybe they should. That'd be an awesome thing to do. Vinny, he's one of those. Vinny's a little goofy, if you haven't noticed.
A little goofy?
I love the guy, but that's a perfect story for him.
Well, he's not foodie enough for that.
Well, I don't know. Vinny can make anything look pretty good. He's a good storyteller. And, Vinny, I bet he does. I'll have to tune in and watch that. He's going to have to hit me up, and I got my neighborhood eats tonight, Joe. Tune in.
You're going to say, well, just email me a link. I ain't watch it.
Exactly. That's sad.
Well, and you look at like Matt Roy over at Channel 4.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do these kind of segments, make that a part of their Thursday Night Lights broadcast. The big dude that likes to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, he should figure out how to get that as a part of the broadcast.
I think that'd be a good idea. I was a big dude that liked to eat. They never offered that gig to me.
Well, I mean, like I said, foodie types.
Well, Marvin Hurst did a great job.
He did.
He did a great job with that.
Well, see, and the thing with that, and I was talking about this with Vinny, is like, it's not a food critic kind of thing. So it's not like you could be like Mike Sutter at the Express News and go in and order 40 plates and tell you your food sucks. So whatever it is, you're enhancing and spotlighting a local restaurant. It's not a food critic piece. See, and I think it needs to be.
Well, you just go. It's like you go into Joe's Cafe and whatever their specialty is, they serve it up to, and you tell everybody how good it is.
Yeah, but what if it's not good?
Well, you say that.
Well, but see, that's what Vinny said. It's not a food critic piece. So I was like, what happens if you do something? You're eating somewhere and it's not good. And he says you focus on dessert. I mean, I don't know what you do in a situation like that.
Well, you look at somebody's face when they take a bite, because if something's bad, it's very difficult to hide that.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like for you, Joe Reinagel, you go to a lot of places, you'll eat something and oh man, that's delicious. You say that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, whether we're on the radio or we're just somewhere, we could be in Vegas, we could be traveling wherever we get to travel to. But when something sucks, you don't have a problem saying, well, this sucks.
I have no issue with that.
But that is that's delicious. Right?
Yeah.
Like, but if you don't say it's delicious, I know it sucks. Right. There is that difference, like that lobster roll we had. Like you were afraid of lobster roll.
I was.
And you took a bite of it. And you didn't say that's delicious. And I said, you don't like it? It's not bad. I don't know. No.
I mean, it looked like a lobster roll is something I could have or not.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going back to Boston, I mean, the clam chowder.
Well, see, you eat a lot of that. The problem is that we're in Las Vegas. You got a lobster roll, and you're like, holy crap, that's delicious.
Well, it was better in Vegas.
Yes.
Better in Vegas. And now, granted, the one that I tried was at the stadium. So there's a difference. If I go to a decent restaurant, it would have been a lot better. But I'm just saying, because, well, The one at the stadium was not all that in a bag of chips, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. On YouTube, and I know we're having some camera issues with the Wi-Fi here. John is asking, how is Smith and Valley's Frito pie? It's been a while since I've done a game at Smith and Valley at Ranger Stadium. You know, the last couple times we've had Smith and Valley here as our game of the week, they've been the road team, whether it's at one of the San Antonio stadiums or last year we did a Smith and Valley game out at Bernie against Champion. So it's been a while since I've been to Ranger Stadium.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've changed anything, but honestly, Frito Pie Friday started when I was doing all Smith and Valley games at Ranger Stadium.
And were they good?
Yes.
It was good out there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Larry Hill wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
Are
Larry
you kidding
Hill
me?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes. That's the way it rolls, man. You just got to rock and roll that way. See, and that's where you go to some stadiums. They used to cater. Like I used to always schedule in the late 90s, early 2000s. If I could go to Marble Falls for a game, we would, because Marble Falls used to have their press box catered by a place called Pete Mesquite's Barbecue.
Pete Mesquite's.
And, that place was so good. I mean, just incredible barbecue. And then they would always have to-go plates for you.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
Bastrop used to cook chili and cornbread in their press box, and so it's all right. Is there a Bastrop game we could go do? Especially like late October, early November, because that was going to be good. East Central used to have a really good spread. I don't know if they still do. It's been a while since we've been out to East Central, but yeah, now you're lucky if you go somewhere and get water. Alamo Heights does Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't do prime rib out at Alamo Heights.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I used to love going to Clemens.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Lindhoff would have that lemon meringue pie going out there. So that was fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of, they cater from a chicken restaurant near there. There's tenders over there. You see
that? They spoil
those
you guys.
Small towns do it.
They spoil you guys.
These big stadiums and no food, no water. Well, sometimes water. Heroes has water. Comalander doesn't.
No.
And again, same school district.
Yeah.
Some things don't make sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
It's kind of like figuring out what the hell Jerry is doing with Zeke Elliott. Zeke apparently yesterday, very, very upset. Dumbfounded was the story yesterday.
Yes.
How true was that? We'll dive into it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you what is absolutely true. The best place to go and take in all the college football action, all the NFL action is out at the Golf Club of Texas. You should make that your football watching headquarters. There's a number of reasons to do that. Number one, the Tin Cup restaurant is absolutely superb. The food is fantastic. They've got a beautiful bar out there. They've even got an outside bar with TVs all around, so you can sit outside there if you want to as well. Perfect view of all the games. Tomorrow, in fact, check this out. You go out to the Golf Club of Texas, they have bottomless chips and queso. That's the special for tomorrow. So you can get all the chips, all the queso you want for one low, low price. Vet tip, you go to golfclubtexas.com, book your tee time early, play golf, and then stick around and watch football. That's the way to do it out there at the Golf Club of Texas. And when you walk in there, you're going to think you're walking into a private country club, but you're not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. It offers some of the best course conditions in town with the friendliest staff. I already mentioned the Tin Cup restaurant. It is a perfect place to take the family out there. You take the family out there, the food's great, and you're not going to break the bank. That's for sure. It is reasonably priced. Everything at the Golf Club of Texas is first class, except for those high prices. The prices are right there exactly where you want them. And if you feel like practicing, their driving range is open until 11 o'clock. That's fantastic. It's lighted. You can see everything you're doing. Just a perfect place to go to do a variety of things. But head out there this weekend and watch some football. Right off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup around with your buddies, your next golf tournament, go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Here's your chance to own Texas coastal property for your vacations and rental income. Hi, I'm Jason with Eden Development. We're excited to invite you to our exclusive one-day land sale Saturday, October 19th to discover coastal luxury RV sites or turnkey tiny homes. Yours for as little as $59.9. That's right, $59.9. These exclusive properties offer a resort-style pool, lazy river, community clubhouse, fishing pier, boat storage, private lake access, pickleball courts, and much more. Located minutes from the stunning beaches of Rockport and Port Aransas, these sites are perfect for family vacations or as a lucrative rental investment. This land sale is one day only, Saturday, October 19th, by appointment only. Call now, 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380. Excellent financing options. Call now to schedule your private showing. 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo, and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game. What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix.
What
Football
a beautiful
Friday.
day.
Gorgeous, man. Not a cloud in the sky.
This is why we live in San Antonio. It's October 11th, and it's absolutely beautiful. 90-something degrees. I'm in for that. I'm all in for that.
Is it 90? Yeah, my phone says 89.
89, okay.
Air quality alert day. I look out, the air looks like it's there, so we're good to go. It's so bizarre because watching last night's Seattle-San Francisco game, mind you, my wife is from Seattle.
Yeah.
And a little town just north of Seattle called Snohomish. It's a suburb, but she grew up in Seattle. And Al Michaels, a brisk 55 degrees. And I just look at her, I said, 55? She's like, it's October. That's why we live here. You're
That's
right.
Exactly right.
I mean, 55, I didn't realize winter had started yet up there.
Well, we're still in summertime. It's crazy, but I love it. I don't care. I would prefer this. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind a nice little cool front.
Yeah, drop down to 81.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Like tomorrow, I'll be at the Cotton Bowl for Texas OU.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad that it's going to be hot. I would rather deal with heat than I would cold or wind or rain or, good Lord, snow. So, I don't mind it whatsoever. I like on Sunday at Jerry World, the air conditioner is going to be on.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's the way it should. But 55, whoa.
That's a little cool.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Well, when it gets below 60, I bring out the heavy stuff.
The heavy stuff,
yeah.
You're such a liar.
I'm telling you, man, I don't like cold weather.
You go half zip when it drops below 80.
That's right. I don't like to be cold. I have no problem being hot. I no issue with that at all. But I don't like being cold. It bothers me.
Yeah. Jerry seemed bothered today when he was on 105.3 The Fan, asked about a certain running back who is dumbfounded. Now, let's kind of reset the story a little bit. Yesterday, Clarence Hill, good friend of the show, tweets out that Zeke is dumbfounded by his role and said he has talked to his coaches. Now, as you do a little digging, Zeke never used the word dumbfounded that we can find. But that was Clarence's takeaway after the interview session by his locker, that he's not happy. And again, the way Clarence wrote it, he didn't say he seems dumbfounded, kind of made it seem like that was a word that Zeke used. And he didn't. In fact, Zeke did talk yesterday and obviously is not happy with his role, says he has talked with coaches about his role and he would like more carries, especially on the goal line, but never really uses the word dumbfounded.
One of the things you've always been exceptional at in your career is scoring in short yardage situations. How surprised were you weren't in there in those situations last night?
No, I want to be in there. I don't know.
Have you asked for more defined role?
I've talked a little bit, but just kind of, letting it play itself out.
Zeke never used the word dumbfounded, and I love Clarence Hill. But for Clarence Hill to say that Zeke is dumbfounded, to me, is just irresponsible. And I'm going to throw myself into that category because I went with Clarence Hill thinking that, Clarence talks to Zeke, and Zeke must have said that. But I went off on Zeke before I actually heard from Zeke, and that's my fault, and I shouldn't have done that. Never said dumbfounded. And when you listen to Zeke Elliott talk, he is obviously upset. He obviously doesn't seem to understand what's going on, but he never made a big deal out of it. And so I threw Zeke under the bus, said that was not a good look. He shouldn't do it. And I owe Zeke an apology, but I did that because Clarence Hill screwed up by saying dumbfounded because I assumed that's what Zeke said.
No, and again, I think, Clarence Hill, and give Zeke credit, he was answering questions that he was asked about, and that was his takeaway. But the tweet portrayed it as if it was something that Zeke said. This morning, the guys on 105.3 The Fan asked Jerry Jones about Zeke being dumbfounded.
That's an exaggeration. dumbfounded is an exaggeration. It's a bad description of how he feels about things. He's very much aware of the part of the running game that he's involved with. But more importantly is, and I can't emphasize this enough, we're saving him, and we should be. And we want him for Rico is an outstanding running back. He's always had the challenge, mainly, I guess, because of his size of doing the blocking, protecting the quarterback. But his big problem has been what? He's had troubles with injury over his career. And so it'd be madness to just rely on him for the duration of the season and into the playoffs we've got. Ezekiel is there. He will be there because we want to protect him during this particular time as much as anything. And then, of course, you got a player like Dalvin Cook out there in the wings that is going to be very material as we go forward. Don't exaggerate that. That doesn't mean that that's big news. But the point is, they're there for everybody to see. It's no secret, and we're going to use them. I keep my fingers crossed every time I see Rico grab that ball. He's a violent runner. He's an outstanding runner. And we wouldn't even be having a running back conversation if he'd been able to stay healthy the last 2 or 3 years.
See, now, as for all of the stuff, the dumbfounded tweet, which Zeke didn't say, the Zeke comment, we learned something from Jerry Jones. The Cowboys are afraid that Rico Dowdle is going to get hurt. And they want to make sure that they have Zeke Elliott and Dalvin Cook waiting in the wings for when, not if, for when that happens.
You know, all the crap that we give Jerry, that's about as honest of an answer that we've heard this year about their running back situation. And they do have a plan. Whether we agree with that plan or not doesn't matter. That is their plan. They are saving Zeke. They are saving Dalvin Cook for when Rico gets hurt. Not if, but when. Like, we really like Rico, but we don't trust Rico can handle 17 regular season games and however many they might get in the playoffs. So they want to make sure that their insurance policy doesn't get hurt in a September-October game.
Both of them, Zeke Elliott and Dalvin Cook. They don't want either one of those guys getting hurt. Now we understand why they've left Dalvin Cook on a shelf in the practice squad, haven't activated him, and Zeke Elliott's not getting the carries that he's getting. Now, I said yesterday I think Zeke is on the last leg of his career, and he very well may be. But now we understand a little bit better about what's happening. Now, I don't agree with it simply because if Zeke is your best goal line guy, Zeke should be running goal line plays. And Rico, obviously, they thought maybe he would be okay, ends up fumbling the football, and you can blame whoever you want to blame. But now we kind of understand a little bit better. And I don't agree with it, quite frankly, because you can't play scared. Scared money is lost money, Minnix.
It really is. I mean, it's the rule in Vegas, and it should be the rule in the NFL. And quite frankly, it is just another Band-Aid that the front office is using for their piss-poor offseason and addressing the running back situation. You know, watching last night, San Francisco, they don't have McCaffrey. They're rolling in dudes that are all running the ball well. Second team, all right, you're hurt. Third team guy comes in, looks just as good as the second team guy. None of them look like Christian McCaffrey, but they can all go in there and produce.
Yep.
And the Dallas Cowboys don't have that. They have Rico, who they like, and they've got two old guys and a deuce. And that's what they have. They don't have another guy capable of filling the role if something were to happen to Rico. So to hear Jerry, man, I hold my breath every time. Man, that's, I mean, like, dude, at some point you realize, all right, man, I might need tires. I've been to discount. They keep telling me I need new tires. Well, let's hope I don't have a blowout on this road trip. I mean, you're just waiting for bad things to happen.
That's exactly what's going on there. And I applaud Jerry for being honest. And I don't ever know if Jerry means to be honest. I just think sometimes he starts talking and things come out and you get lucky.
Well, I think he's pissed there that Zeke it was portrayed that Zeke was bitching at his locker that he didn't understand the plan, and Jerry called BS on that because apparently Zeke is very aware of the plan, whether he likes it or not.
Exactly, and that's what it sounds like. So I don't understand why Clarence used the word dumbfounded and why that one came to mind immediately. But,
well, I mean, I'll give Clarence the benefit of the doubt because he's done this a long time. You know, in a tweet, he interpreted what he saw. We interpret things all the time. And, you know, but the tweet did make it sound like the wording that Zeke's used that word dumbfounded, even though it wasn't in quotes, it was implied. And, you know, that's why it blew up the way it did, not just with us, but all across. And, you know, Clarence Hill has been doing some damage control on that. But at the same time, there are questions that were answered about what the Cowboys are doing at the running back position. You know, yesterday, Stephen Jones told us, well, we don't question Mike and the coaching staff on who they have out there in those kind of situations. Today, you know, Jerry, no, we're saving Zeke.
Well, you give Clarence the benefit of the doubt. Clarence screwed that up because we weren't the only ones that took that to mean that Zeke is dumbfounded. And when you use that, not seems dumbfounded, seems perplexed, they looked dejected, whatever, Clarence injected his own interpretation of that, and it threw everybody off. We weren't the only ones that fell for it. Obviously, 105.3 The Fan fell for the same thing because they're asking Jerry Jones that question. You know, we would have asked Steven that question had we seen that before, had the tweet come out before we interviewed Steven yesterday. And so the whole thing would have been misinterpreted. So Clarence knows better than that. And I'm telling you this, that I would tell Clarence that to his face.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's feeling the heat because he's getting roasted on social media today about that. And he's trying to defend himself. And I think he knows that he screwed up.
It's interesting. Now, you know, Mike McCarthy, not really on this particular topic, but did talk about the running back situation. And, of course, the game this weekend against the Lions. Cowboys-Lions, Sunday afternoon right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. We'll hear from the Cowboys head coach coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to talk to you about Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. I've been doing it for a long time now. Family-owned company, local company, and they're absolutely the best at what they do. You know, your roof covers your home. It covers your family. You want a reliable roofer you can trust. You can trust Stevens Roofing. And it doesn't matter what kind of project it is. You got a commercial building, you needs a new roof, Stevens can handle that. You want a metal roof on your house, they can do that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates are always free when you call them at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else these days, we're all looking to save a little money. So if you've been thinking about going solar, guess what? Stevens has you covered there as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing. 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Call them. 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, so much football in so little time.
And Major League Baseball, the championship series are set. We'll break them down for you. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you know Tecovas, you know we make some of the best and most comfortable cowboy boots around. But what you might not know is that a new Tecovas store is now open at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Come see us at 5300 Broadway and let us help you find your new favorite pair of boots. Tecovas, don't go gently.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective. A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
When disaster strikes, your help matters.
This is about the worst damage I've ever seen.
Donate to the Red Cross today to support families impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Visit redcross.org to make a difference. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. DJ Pledgey Pledge back there producing today.
He is. What do they call it? Rolling the platters?
What?
Spinning the platters?
Spinning the ones and twos?
The ones and twos.
Rolling the platters?
The platters. Well, it used to be albums, right? They look the platters.
The records?
I don't know.
Yeah, there used to be albums, the Platters.
I don't know that I've ever heard Rolling the Platters.
That's what they used to say back in the 50s.
In the 50s. Only you would remember that.
That was a group in the 50s.
I know, but that's what they spinning the platters.
They weren't rolling platters. They were rolling something else.
They were spinning them.
I don't know that they were spinning platters.
Waka, waka, waka.
Oh, God. You couldn't sound more whiter when you do that.
Waka, waka,
waka.
Oh, my goodness. It's Friday, man. I'm in a good mood.
You going clubbing tonight?
Let's have some fun. I don't know about that. But, yeah, you never know. I mean,
I do.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early. You might be at a place where there is a DJ, but you're not going to a club.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, like when the Bandit Picks takes a break and the DJ goes on, that's as close as you're getting.
No, that wouldn't be a bad move tonight. Picks. Might have to head back over to the Angry Elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Many options.
Many
options. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Sure. I know I've got a game and an early flight, so I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
No.
Yeah, but you get on a plane hungover. What the hell?
I've got a big weekend.
You sweat it all out at the game tomorrow? The State Fair?
Yeah. Well, no, I got Texas OU tomorrow, and then the State Fair tomorrow night.
Right.
And then Sunday, I'm going to that Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party.
See?
And then the game.
Yeah.
And then fly home.
You can handle 3 days in a row.
I could.
Sure.
I could. I know I've got 2.
All right.
I've got 2.
Who's playing at Picks tonight?
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I have to check Ben's list.
Might have to. Yeah, Ben will know.
Yeah, Ben will know. He will be there.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I had anything I could go do tonight, I would go to Sam's Burger Joint and watch the Damn Torpedoes, because that is a great Tom Petty tribute band. If but I've got a game by the time I'm done with this game tonight. Last week I was home before 10 o'clock.
That's awesome.
I mean, for a high school game to be over in just over, I think it was 2 hours and 11 minutes. Punch?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the fastest games ever. That won't be the case tonight between these two teams. Because they will throw the ball and they will score a lot.
Okay.
So we will see.
Well, good.
Yeah. Although we do have 2 of the best running backs in the city tonight in this Reagan Johnson game. 2 guys that could probably help the Dallas Cowboys, because their run game hasn't been worth anything this year. Although it did get better last week, and it was an impressive run game for the Cowboys against the Steelers. Mike McCarthy this morning on with Rob and AJ on the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, talked about the improvement in the run game against Pittsburgh.
I think the biggest thing is it really starts with attempts, and able to stay with it. It was a balanced football game. We played 5. We've had 5 games. Week 2 and 3 were out of balance games. So just able to stay in the flow with it. I thought the adjustments that were made during the game were excellent. But it starts up front. I think our run blocking unit was given our backs, and then Enrico, was able to be productive, and was the hot hand. So I thought they were given clean looks, and most importantly, it's a responsibility of that run blocking unit to get that back to the second level. Then when it gets to the second level, the back has to create for the bigger yards. So I thought we had a good day, good solid night.
That it was a good solid night. They ran the football well. Perhaps the best game that they've had in the 5 that they've played. So can they carry that over? I think they can. Look, I think that the Lions defense can be had. You can score on them. You can move the football. And I think Dak and company will have that opportunity tomorrow. The question is, are they going to be good enough to keep up with the Lions offense?
Well, and that's it. One of the things that I do appreciate with the conversations the boys in the morning have with Mike McCarthy is you do get some answers to questions. First couple games, there were so many questions about lack of motion. But there was a lot of that in the Pittsburgh game. And he talked about the increased motion in the offense against the Steelers.
I think really last week was, kind of going back to the
balance.
Balance, yeah. Weeks 1, 4, and 5. I mean, that's really what the offense is supposed to look like. So, 2 and 3 when we were in 2-minute offense, half the game. So I think when 2-minute offense, you're in more standard formations, you're playing fast and so forth. So I think statistically, I know statistically, because that's the way our analytics department breaks it out when you break out the situations, but I think clearly the way we played in, the first half of Cleveland and weeks 4 and 5 is who we want to be on offense.
Well, yeah, duh. I mean, yes, you do, right?
But he got hammered a lot with, the offense. And he's like, well, look, because we were in 2 minutes, so there's not a lot of motion there. And so I think, I appreciate getting the understanding, like, yeah, we know, and we know what we want to look like, and that was what it should look like. But when you're down 2 touchdowns, everything goes out the window. So there's reasons why. You can call it reasons or excuses, whatever, but he's telling you, like, yeah, well, that really wasn't what we want to be in because we went 2 minute, early on in the game. And so at least, again, you don't have to agree with it, but you understand the reasoning behind what they're doing.
Well, I just wonder, though, and I think do they bail out of the game plan too early?
Probably.
And you can get into the 2-minute drill in the second quarter and you're down 14. I mean, to me, that's the wrong time to do that. I mean, you stick with the game plan. You still try and run the football. You got plenty of time. And 2 touchdowns in the NFL can be made up pretty quickly in some cases. So that would be my only question is do you bail out of that too soon? And I think in some of those games that they did that against Baltimore. I think they did that. And we'll see what happens because, look, there's a threat of that happening again on Sunday where the Lions jump out to a 14-point lead really quick, and the Cowboys are going to have to do something about that. Do they just abandon the game plan and go in the 2-minute drill? If they do that, they're in big trouble.
They are because, you look at Detroit, and my goodness, I mean, they've got a 2-headed monster at running back. And Jared Goff – he's a solid quarterback.
He is.
Who doesn't get near the credit he probably should. Although, Mike McCarthy said this morning, I mean, he's a fan of what Jared Goff does.
I mean, the first thing I always look at offensively is the quarterback. I think he's underappreciated, frankly. I thought he played well in L.A.
Went to a Super Bowl.
16. I'm trying to remember the year we played him out there. I think just like anything, you have a different level of appreciation when you see a player play live, that you only see playing on tape or on TV. So we played the Rams out there in LA, and I was very, very impressed with him that day. I think it was 16 or 15 when he played. So I think he's underappreciated. I think he's played at a top level, his whole time in Detroit. So I don't know who the hell, doesn't think he's got to be, top. He's definitely in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. I think he's playing at a really high level, and I think he's done a good job since he came into the league.
Not only he is playing, and look, he played well for the Rams. With the Rams, for whatever reason, thought he wasn't their guy moving forward, so they moved on from him and got Matt Stafford. But I think Jared Goff is solid. He's got a good command of that Detroit offense, and he's got some weapons around him, and I think he's doing a great job. And I still believe that the Detroit Lions, when it's all said and done, are going to be there in the end. I really do. They're that good. If they stay healthy, obviously, that goes without saying. But, I mean, they've got all the tools to make it happen.
And when you look at, like San Francisco, while they did get a win last night, Seattle almost came back on them. They had a chance to take the lead until Geno Smith threw that interception. And, you look at San Francisco has blown a couple of leads. They don't have that same look. And, again, part of that is injuries. Will they be there in the end? Detroit and Minnesota, ironically, look the most consistent at this point in the season. I know it's early. And while their secondary can be had, they've got a great pass rush. And Aiden Hutchinson leads the league in sacks, and he's already had a bye week. If Tyler Guyton is able to go, he's going to have his hands full. And Mike McCarthy talked about that this morning with the boys.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you guys have already answered it. I mean, it's just the NFL. I mean, if you don't have 4 number 1 picks on your D line, you're behind the times. So I think it's definitely week in, week out, opportunity. And I think just, the players that he's had the chance to play against, it's only going to make him better. But I mean, this is the world that you live in out there on the edges. And everybody has to go through it, but definitely, I mean, it's going to be someone every week, as we know.
Yeah, it's someone every week, but some of those guys are a little bit better than others.
Yeah.
Although, TJ Watt last week, you got Hutchinson this week, and it'll be interesting to watch. And I think the one thing I do want to watch, if Guyton is healthy and he goes back and he plays that left tackle spot, and Hutchinson beats him a couple of times, do they make a move? Do they put Tyler Smith back over there? Do you change things up, or you just let the young fellow just get his head knocked in and learn from it?
Well, it's a combination of both. I don't know. I like the offensive line that finished the game.
Absolutely.
Although talking with Steven yesterday when I brought that up, do you make him the swing tackle and let him watch and learn a little bit? Stephen Jones seemed very against that idea. This is where you, dare I say, trust the Cowboys coaches, because what I saw and what you saw, and when I say you, all you out there listening right now, was a better offensive line than what started that game, what finished that game, with Tyler Smith playing left tackle.
Well, Tyler Smith is just a hell of a lineman. I mean, really is. The Cowboys really hit on Tyler Smith, and he can play a variety of positions, as he already has in his short time with the Cowboys. So I would be interested to see what happens if Guyton does play, and I'm not sure that he's actually been cleared to play yet. The practice report hasn't come out, but if he plays and he gets beat a couple of times and gets his quarterback sacked a couple of times, it'll be interesting to see if they don't make that move.
Well, and you talk about, today's practice is an important one. And then tomorrow's walkthrough, especially, for Tyler Guyton and maybe even a Deron Bland. Now, again, the morning huddle guys, Rob and AJ, they're talking to Mike McCarthy at 7:00, and then of course they practice later. Today's a big day for Deron Bland, but Mike McCarthy seemed kind of hopeful that Bland will be ready for this Lions game.
Well, I mean, he had a full practice yesterday, so we pushed it. He pushed it a little bit, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm really curious to see how he comes in today. So today is more of a mock game, heavy situational day for us. So this will be the day that we'll see how he recovers, and then if he can go, full go Saturday, then he may have a chance to play. But I think it's the obvious. We got to take the full week here,
right,
and make sure he's ready to go.
And then that's smart. Obviously, it's why Micah Parsons won't play. Why risk that when you've got a bye week coming up? And if Deron Bland isn't 100%, why play him? Again, you got a bye week. You get everybody healthy. You got San Francisco and Atlanta back-to-back on the road as soon as you get off that bye week. So it's not going to get any easier, and you want to have those guys healthy and ready to go.
So we'll see. Again, Mike McCarthy every Friday morning on the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And when we get that practice report, we'll let you know what it says and obviously how he's feeling. But I'm a big fan if he's on a limited pitch count, I'd rather see him wait, enjoy the bye and then come back being 100% as opposed to come back and risk some sort of a setback. Either you can play or you can't.
Absolutely.
And, kind of go that route. We'll see. Cowboys, Lions.
It's going to be fun.
It is going to be a fun game. Hopefully it is a fun game, almost like a fun time this weekend for those at ACL. Miguel Martinez on our YouTube channel says, good afternoon, Jason Joe Pledge. Stopped in real fast to say thanks for the ACL 3-day passes. Y'all have a good weekend. I guess he's on his way up to Austin.
Absolutely.
Was it Blink 182 and Chris Stapleton headlining tonight?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be a good weekend. Well, we gave away those 3-day passes so long ago.
We did. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, enjoy that, Miguel.
Good time. Absolutely. You guys have fun out there. Some interesting things going on in the world.
Always is.
Something could interfere with your college football Saturday, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing any of us can do about it. We will explain coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. After a 2-week road trip, the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's your chance to own Texas coastal property for your vacations and rental income. Hi, I'm Jason with Eden Development. We're excited to invite you to our exclusive one-day land sale Saturday, October 19th to discover coastal luxury RV sites or turnkey tiny homes. Yours for as little as $59.9. That's right, $59.9. These exclusive properties offer a resort-style pool, lazy river, community clubhouse, fishing pier, boat storage, private lake access, pickleball courts, and much more. Located minutes from the stunning beaches of Rockport and Port Aransas, these sites are perfect for family vacations or as a lucrative rental investment. This land sale is one day only, Saturday, October 19th, by appointment only. Call now, 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380. Excellent financing options. Call now to schedule your private showing. 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380.
Check this out. The new iPhone 16 built for Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. Trade in any phone from one of our top brands for the new iPhone 16 with Unlimited Ultimate. Plus, get a new iPad. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's the land of the free and the home of student drivers ready to back into your new fence at any given time. It's firing up a round of burgers and dogs on your rusty grill with a faulty gas line that engulfs your tool shed in flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Do you want to add more fun to watching NFL games? Jason Minnix here from the Blitz. Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com and start playing the Pick'em game. Love playing Pick'em. Just about every game I play. Love winning money. You too can as well. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats like passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, field goals made. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward. Signing up is easy. Just go to the mobile app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Just released their practice report for today, and there is some bad news. Deron Bland listed as questionable. He did not practice today. Kalen Carson, the cornerback,
the rookie cornerback, is questionable as well. Micah Parsons listed as out, but the bad news, linebacker Eric Kendricks has been listed as out for that game on Sunday. Good news for the Texans, running back Joe Mixon expected to play.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On a football Friday, it is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Glad to have you along. So much going on, and that injury report, alarming.
It really is. Kendricks is a surprise, although he's been a little dinged up with his shoulder, and then he had some sort of illness is what it was listed as.
And now a calf. And
he has already been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit injury report, as you might expect, coming off of a bye, pretty much everybody expected to play.
Yeah, they've got an offensive lineman who is out with an illness, but ultimately, you look at the Cowboys. The Eric Kendricks shoulder injury looked earlier in the week like he might be able to play through it. Now they've added calf to it, and I hope that is one of those. You can't go this week. We're going into a bye. You're going to be fine, because he's the quarterback of that defense, and certainly one that Zimmer knows well. He's the one that came over, handpicked by Zim, understands everything. And what I worry about without Kendricks there is last year you saw that great Cowboys defense fall apart when Leighton Vander Esch got hurt. And I hope that we don't see the same with Kendricks out. Overshown has done an incredible job, but I don't know that Overshown can replace everything that Eric Kendricks does, especially when it comes to making sure everybody is where they need to go.
Well, he's a quarterback of the defense, Kendricks is. And so, I don't know if Overshown is ready for that or if he'll even get that opportunity. But that's a big blow, and both of us were surprised when we saw that he has already been ruled as out. So bad news for the Cowboys, especially when you're going up against one of the most prolific offenses in the NFC, for sure, if not the entire NFL, at least so far in this season this year. So that's a tough break, and we'll see how that affects them. And really no surprise, didn't expect it, although Stephen Jones told us yesterday we'll see about Micah Parsons, but he too has been officially ruled out, which to me is good news. You let him heal up and get ready for the rest of the season.
Well, that's it. I mean, they certainly don't want to lose another home game. But you can't risk a setback with a guy like Micah Parsons. I mean, expectations for this year's Cowboys team are I think, realistic for all of us. But inside that room, they better still be thinking Super Bowl, and everything's in front of them.
Absolutely.
You lose a Micah Parsons, and you're screwed. When I look at, like, Eric Kendricks, the shuffling that you're going to see at linebacker, it's not like there's a lot of depth at the linebacker position.
No.
I mean, Buddy Johnson, Damone Clark. You just kind of look and see, okay, what are they really going to try to do here, and how are they going to mask it? I mean, Marquise Bell, more of a safety, played some linebacker last year, not overly great, by the way, but the warm body for the day, stick your nose in there and get a hit or two.
Well, it will be interesting, but that's a big loss, that Kendricks loss. It really is. And again, it may be by committee. Who knows tomorrow who's going to handle the duties of playing that position and quarterbacking that defense. But a big blow for the Dallas Cowboys with Kendricks out of there. I just find this game interesting, Jason. I really do. It's going to be an interesting football game on both sides to see where the Cowboys are, and are the Lions as good as advertised? And if they are, with a wounded animal in the Dallas Cowboys, they should go into Dallas and handle business.
Pledge, what were you saying in my ear? Oh, okay. We'll check the WhatsApp. In the meantime, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions. Never enough time.
We talk about the Lions being as good as advertised. Is Bronny as bad as advertised?
I hate being right sometimes. I really
you're
do.
So full of it.
I really do. I know it gets old for everybody that I'm right all the
rare
time.
Occasion. It's like a broken clock.
Well,
go ahead and float.
It's like, my goodness, Bronny James right now is the worst player in the NBA in the preseason. Did you hear that? The worst player in the preseason in the NBA. Granted, it is preseason. But look, does it surprise anybody, really? The guy couldn't even start at USC, for goodness sake.
He had a heart attack.
And he's going to come in and play. Well, exactly. And he's going to come in and start for the Lakers and be a star for the LA Lakers. I mean, come on.
No, but he will make history. On opening night, ESPN's Sham Charania said this yesterday on Greeny, that we'll see history, father and son on the court, and then he's off to the G League when that starts in November.
Well, he should be. That's where he belongs.
I don't know if he even belongs in the G League. He probably should have gone overseas, but his last name is James. His father. And sure, you're right, and so is everybody else that watched basketball. But you go picking that low-hanging fruit.
Come on now.
I mean, nobody championed for Bronny to get picked, right? Nobody thought he was a draftable player except for the Lakers.
Well, and I'm sure they didn't think that either. It's just that, there's LeBron.
Yes.
Daddy. Come on, Daddy. Make it happen, Daddy.
Uh-huh. So, if you're planning ahead for the day after Thanksgiving to go to College Station to watch the Longhorns and the Aggies, you might want to put in for some overtime at work, because those tickets are unbelievably expensive. Now, I know I got tickets this week from Awesome Tickets for the UT game tomorrow, UT Oklahoma. And I paid a lot of money for these tickets. I see on our YouTube chat, guy says somebody that he works with are selling his tickets for $2,500 a piece. So $5,000 for a pair. I didn't come anywhere close to that. My two tickets don't cost one of those, not even close. But I paid a lot of money for these tickets.
Absolutely.
And when I was looking at prices, I was like, but I want to go. It's on the bucket list. And I think a lot of people will say the same thing when it comes to going to A&M and Texas in College Station at the end of the year. Same thing next week for Texas, Georgia up in Austin. I mean, the ticket prices are insane, but the fact that we're willing to pay for them drives those prices right up. I would say, and I tell people this all the time when, I give them John's number or say, hey, man, call Awesome Tickets. One of the great things about dealing with a guy like John at Awesome Tickets, there's no fees.
Yeah.
So if they tell you what the ticket price is, that's what the ticket price is, not without all those ridiculous fees. But generally speaking, I wait to buy tickets because the market generally comes down. I don't decide, all right, I'm going to go to this game and buy tickets right there, or concert, because I generally buy concert tickets from John. You can generally wait and the market will come down. And normally that will save me money. For this Texas OU game, that didn't happen, right? The market didn't come down because the demand is so high. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen for this Texas-Texas A&M game.
I'm sure it is.
As it gets closer, it's either going to stay what it is or maybe even go up. So this is one of those times where I might say, dude, if you think you are finding a deal, go ahead and grab them.
Grab them now. $2,500 on average from the article I read for a ticket.
A ticket
for that Texas A&M game. I'm sure you can find something a little bit. There's 100,000 people can get in that place. If you're at the top, I'm sure they're, maybe half that. But it's going to be expensive if you want to go to that game and be a part of that. And a lot of people will. And it's just like you. I mean, it's a bucket list thing. So if you got to pay a little bit extra to go, then you're okay with it because you want to go and you want to have some fun. So, hey, go do it. You're going to have a blast.
I'm going to have a blast. And again, I feel like I got to deal. And again, as somebody like John, as I'm looking around where I'm at, I know in that same general area, there are some tickets on different places that are almost double what I paid. But when you've got a guy like John that can find you a deal, you jump on it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've done. And again, no fees, but it's a bucket list item. In fact, I've got a video up right now at SA Sports Star on Instagram talking about this weekend's college slate of games, which is incredible, which is why you don't have a football season wedding. But also, I need good tips on having never been, checking off the bucket list, going as a fan, no credential, none of that. I want to experience the whole deal. People go all the time and different people, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. I need those inside tips because I've never been able to go to this game, and because it's normally 11 a.m. And the fact that it's 2:30, I'm going to be able to go. And like I said, like I'm on a 8 o'clock flight in the morning, 7:55. I'll land, go drop the stuff at the hotel, and I hope to be at the Cotton Bowl by like 10:30. If it were 11 a.m. kickoff, you wouldn't get the full experience. So is it worth the investment? No. This year it is. I cannot wait.
It is, and you need to get there at 10:30 and experience it all because there's so much stuff that happens pre-game. And just to see all the pomp and circumstance, you're going to love it. I'm fortunate. I've never been as a fan, I will say that, but I've been there several times for work, and it's just an incredible atmosphere. And it's something that you've never seen before. I don't care what college football stadium you've been to. You've never seen anything like you're going to see tomorrow afternoon.
I can't wait. I'm getting a text from Gillespie, who claims to have a master's degree from Vanderbilt.
Is that right?
Yeah, she doesn't really have one, but her boss thinks she does. She's like, wonder how much Vandy versus Texas those tickets are going to be.
Yeah, well, probably not much.
Vandy's going to remember their Vandy?
They're going to remember their Vandy, and even then, the fans are going to remember their Vandy when Texas comes to town. You tell her, by the way, I'm running out of ice.
Are you running out of ice?
Yeah, so I may need some more.
You might need some more ice? No, Maggie's desperately out of ice. Way too inside of a joke.
Sorry.
Now, as you're watching college football this weekend, your game might get interrupted.
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, it happens every year. It's called Sunspot.
Yeah.
And, it's been happening at our radio station at the end of the Jim Rome show. They, there's something. The satellite and the sun don't get along.
No, they
don't. When this lines up with this, it blocks out the satellite. There's nothing you can do about it. Not a damn thing you can do.
No.
And this weekend on Saturday, there could be several games interrupted by the sun. Don't freak out at your TV. You don't have to call the TV station. All you can do is call God, because the satellite and the sun will create sometimes it lasts for a couple minutes, sometimes several minutes, but there's nothing anybody can do about it.
You just had to go to the fridge, get another beer, and just sit there and chill, because that's about all you can do about it. And I find it fascinating. The website where I found this article, it's got Texas OU at the bottom, and then just fuzz.
Yeah.
It's like that could happen. If it does, just wait it out. It's not going to last that long, but it could interrupt a play or two.
The good news is you can kind of tell, because I don't know, science.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who figures this stuff up. We get an email from the network that's like, well, between 148 and 153, Jim Rowe might not be on the air because of sunspots.
Yeah.
And so they kind of know when to expect it. But just know, forewarning, don't freak out when it happens tomorrow, although you will freak out when it happens.
Absolutely.
If you're sitting over at the Rue Pub, don't scream at the bartenders. There's nothing they can do about it. If you're at the house, it's nothing with your system. It's the sun. And nobody can do a damn thing about it. And all the technology in the world that we have, there's still things that you cannot control.
And 2:30 is about prime time for that, right? Yeah. So just be ready for it. And,
because this week for us, it was like, 148 to 153.
Yeah, exactly.
And, as the Earth spins and the sun does what, that time changes a lot. It's just that time of year.
It is. So don't freak out. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Would you freak out if Marshawn Lynch was a mayor? I mean, we've seen, Jesse Ventura is a governor.
Yeah.
We've seen other celebrities run for office. Marshawn Lynch is actually thinking about running for mayor of Oakland.
Of Oakland. Well, I could see the city of Oakland needing a mayor like Marshawn Lynch, because would you want to mess with him? I wouldn't. And he could go out and maybe handle some of the crime that's going on there in Oakland, and getting somebody's face and taking care of it. But hey, why not? Why not?
I mean, could you imagine? One, you got to show up for the meetings. Can you smoke out at the meetings?
Well, I could see the T-shirts. Vote for Beast Mode.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Yeah, they've already lost all their teams.
Exactly right.
Can you imagine Marshawn Lynch, the hero that brings them back?
I'd vote for the guy. Why not?
Why? Well, I mean, it's got to be better than what they currently have, and I don't know what they currently have.
Well,
although I tell you, last night watching the game, because of my Magic TV box, I was watching the feed from a San Francisco TV station, because on the prime games, in the markets where the games are played, they're actually on regular television, so you don't have to have prime. Now, because I was watching it offered me up. It was the San Francisco. I mean, I had the prime broadcast with Michaels and Herb Street, but it was coming through an affiliate out of San Francisco. And so their pregame show, all these different political ads that were ridiculous for things going on in Northern California, which is
a lot.
Oh my goodness. You think it's bad here. But during the prime game, there's no political ads. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not.
But Prime does not accept political advertising. So last night, you watched an entire game and didn't see one political commercial.
I didn't even notice that. And I watched that game, but I didn't even think about it, that there were no political ads. And it was kind of nice, to be honest with you. It was refreshing, but I didn't think about it until you brought it up. And I'm like, wow, that's right.
Well, I didn't think about it until I saw a website that covers sports and politics tweet out, how much would you pay to get rid of political ads? And I'm thinking, with technology is what it is, why can't I opt out of them? Or once I early vote, I'm immune from these things.
That would be nice. That would be great. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I don't know, but when I worked for TV, We love political season.
Well, sure.
Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, with all the political ads.
It's still that way in radio.
Right. So in radio too, right? Yeah.
Go tune in KTSA right now.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, it's, so in that respect, the political ads, as hard as they may be for everybody to watch, they're supporting your local media.
It is, but good Lord, the politicians, man, and some of the rules they have for that.
Oh, my God.
And again, do any of those commercials help change your mind?
I don't know if they help anybody
I
or
don't
not.
know.
I have no clue.
I'm so sick of them already. We all got a couple more weeks to go. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Jerry and Zeke, dumbfounded.
Dumbfounded.
Yeah. It's the key word this week in talking
Apparently
about
so.
the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo, and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GAME to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll want a sheet on your every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse shade. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators. Like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer. What's up?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Football Friday, gorgeous weekend in store. You're going to do grilling this weekend? Yeah, you're going to fire up the pit at some point.
Yes.
Make sure you take photos of that great meat on your grill and upload them to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. We give away that money every Thursday.
We do. We judge meat. Give away other people's money. It's a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing.
You know, having Zeke, a fully functioning Zeke, would be a wonderful thing, although I don't think it's a possibility at this point. But even the most pessimistic person about the signing of Zeke has got to be surprised, dumbfounded at the lack of carries that he is getting, especially last week in the red zone, game on the line. He wasn't in there, and he's the short yardage goal line specialist. Now, there was a lot of stuff made yesterday afternoon after a tweet from Clarence Hill, and he tweeted out, Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott confirmed he has talked to the coaches about his role and remains dumbfounded by his lack of opportunities, at least as red zone back. And you listen to Zeke, he seems a little surprised, but never uses the term dumbfounded.
One of the things you've always been exceptional at in your career is scoring in short yardage situations. How surprised were you weren't in there in those situations?
No, I want to be in there. Yeah, I don't know.
Have you asked for a more defined role?
I mean, I've talked a little bit, but just kind of, letting it play itself out.
Now, tell me anywhere in there that you would get the idea that Zeke Elliott is dumbfounded by anything.
Now, if that way, again, he doesn't say the word dumbfounded, but if that was the impression that Clarence Hill had after the interview, then he said seems. I mean, there are a lot of things he could have said or wrote on Twitter that would have made it not seem like that was a word that Zeke used, although he doesn't quote Zeke in there. So, in defense of Clarence Hill, he never used it as a quote, but it certainly kind of read that, he confirmed he talked to coaches and, he was dumbfounded. I mean, that's, and again, I
Clarence knows better than that.
Well, see, and that's it. But at the same time, I look at all of us in this situation. We all say things, and but that's why I'm a big fan of playing the audio as opposed to just reading the quote. You read a quote, context, were they laughing, whatever. I'd rather hear it than read it.
Absolutely. But still, just hearing that bite, I'm not sure. I think Clarence Hill is dumbfounded by the fact that Zeke is not getting red zone carries. I think most Cowboy fans are dumbfounded. But to go out and suggest that Zeke Elliott is dumbfounded when he never said that, there's so many other ways to handle that. Seems dumbfounded. He seems, perplexed, surprised. He's dejected. He seems dejected. All of those things would have been much more appropriate. And look, I fell for it and went off on Zeke yesterday for saying that, look, this is not a good look. He shouldn't be saying that. And it turns out he didn't say that. So I was wrong for trusting in what I saw from Clarence Hill, but I wasn't the only one, obviously. I mean, the guys, they talked to Jerry Jones today on 105.3 The Fan, and they asked Jerry about being dumbfounded.
That's an exaggeration. Dumbfounded is an exaggeration. It's a bad description of how he feels about things. He's very much aware of the part of the running game that he's involved with. But more importantly is, and I can't emphasize this enough, we're saving him, and we should be. And we want him for Rico is an outstanding running back. He's always had the challenge, mainly, I guess, because of his size of doing the blocking, protecting the quarterback. But his big problem has been what? He's had troubles with injury over his career. And so it'd be madness to just rely on him for the duration of the season and into the playoffs we've got. Zeke is there. He will be there because we want to protect him during this particular time as much as anything. And then, of course, you got a player like Dalvin Cook out there in the wings that is going to be very material as we go forward. Don't exaggerate that. That doesn't mean that that's big news. But the point is, they're there for everybody to see. It's no secret, and we're going to use them. I keep my fingers crossed every time I see Rico grab that ball. He's a violent runner. He's an outstanding runner, and we wouldn't even be having a running back conversation if he'd been able to stay healthy the last 2 or 3 years.
Wow. So what we're really hearing is the truth from Jerry Jones and what the Cowboys' actual plan is. Agree with it or not, that is what the plan is. They like Rico, and there's a reason Rico was stuck around a couple of years, and we talked about that, 2 years ago? Yeah, was it going to be Malik Davis? Was it going to be – no, there's a reason they keep Rico around. They like him, and last week was one of those kind of games, 20 carries, 87 yards, where you go, all right, and he was effective in the passing game, caught a passing touchdown, but they don't believe that guy, Rico, can stay healthy for 17 regular season games and whatever they get in the playoffs. So they want to make sure that their insurance policy, which is one of those apparently budget insurance policies that, you get with a Zeke and a Dalvin Cook, that not if Rico gets hurt, but when Rico gets hurt, they can turn to Zeke. Jerry Jones and that front office would be sick if Zeke were to get hurt in an October game. On a goal line game-winning situation at Pittsburgh, if Zeke were to get hurt on that play, oh, bleep, that's our insurance policy.
Yeah, and again, I don't agree with it at all, because you've got your players and you got to use them as you see fit. And we were talking about that yesterday and why Zeke wasn't out there. Well, I obviously thought Rico Dowdle was the best guy for the job. Well, apparently that's not the case. Apparently the Cowboys coaching staff and administration is scared to death Rico Dowdle's going to get hurt, and you need guys back there. Look, I will never be a fan of a team being scared that something is going to happen, so you have to have insurance policies. I just won't, and I don't like that at all. You brought Zeke in to be your short yardage guy, and if you think he can get the job done, you should use him. But props to Jerry Jones for being completely honest. And again, it's their decision, whether I agree with it or you agree with it or not. That's what they're going to do. I just find that a very difficult situation to be in where you're scared to death somebody's going to get hurt. So you want to make sure and keep these other guys on the bench. So you got guys to come in when Rico gets hurt.
It is interesting, and it's certainly not a plan I agree with, but it is their plan, and we don't have to agree with it. It's kind of like the Spurs the last couple of years. If we know what the plan is, we'll be less mad at the crap, right? And we don't have to know that they're not obligated to tell us, but they are obligated, I think, to tell Zeke, because Jerry can say what you just heard him say. But Clarence Hill also quote tweeted his tweet yesterday and said, for the record, before this gets turned into a selfish narrative, Zeke simply answered questions he was asked. He was focused on keeping his head down and being a supportive teammate. He has been patient and not tried to make it about himself and his situation. Mike McCarthy said Elliott has been great in practice, and he has continued to fulfill his media responsibilities at his locker every week despite his diminished role. Nothing wrong with talking to the staff about your role. After several questions, he said we should ask the coaches. He said he was just keeping his head down and focused. Now, I also read that tweet from Clarence, which is probably a little damage control on Clarence's part, that everybody thinking that he used the word dumbfounded is saying, dude, Zeke isn't trying to be a selfish guy saying I need more carries and all of that. But it does seem like he is confused or dumbfounded by his role, because he thought he was the short yardage back. He didn't realize he was Fred Loya.
Wait, what are you saying? You got to explain that to Zeke, I would think. Hey, Zeke, this is what we're doing. Rico's going to get hurt. We know it. He gets hurt every year. And so we need to have you fresh for when that happens, because then you are going to turn into the lead back. But then what happens then? And if the Cowboys are being so cautious with Zeke Elliott and Dalvin Cook, Rico gets hurt, then what do? I mean, so then you activate Dalvin Cook. Are you going to be scared then to play Dalvin Cook, and it's only going to be Zeke and it's next man up? I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense. At some point in time, you got to roll the dice, play what you got, play to your strengths, and then if somebody gets hurt, you deal with it, and you go out and you find somebody else. That just seems really
cheap,
cowardly to me.
When you could have had a Derrick Henry, or at least we think we could have had Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was on the Dan Patrick show today, and of course, DB did ask him about the Dallas situation.
I really don't know. I know the Cowboys thing just because I live in Dallas in the offseason. That's basically home, and that made the most sense if the Ravens wasn't interested, because I mean that's right there, and that just made the most sense. But clearly, they weren't interested, and the Ravens were, so it worked out the way it needed to be.
But did you drop a hint to anybody on the Cowboys?
No, not at all. I was just waiting to see if they were, or who was interested. And my number one option was the Ravens, so I was waiting to see if that's still going to come about. And thank God it did. Cowboys sent me the peace sign. It worked out where I wanted to be. I got here, and I'm happy.
So that does change the narrative a little bit of what we heard in the offseason, that he wanted to be a Cowboy, but he didn't reach out either. He didn't drop any hints, and you heard him just say the Ravens were his number one option. How true that is, I don't know, but it certainly worked out for him. But
it has so far.
He didn't drop hints that he and I weren't the stories there that, hey, I'm just call me. I'm ready to be here, because when you're looking for a job, you do have to apply. Did his agents not reach out? We know Steven and Jerry have said they didn't call them. They didn't think they could afford them, which makes me wonder, did they have an idea of the price tag that he was looking at through a conversation? Because how do you know if you can afford them? You can't just assume that. Right.
They did assume that, I would think.
Well, I mean, but there was also all these stories that Derrick Henry lives in Dallas and wants to be a Cowboy, and maybe the Cowboys could have got him cheaper because he wanted to be a Cowboy. His agent didn't reach out either.
The Cowboys weren't going to pay Derrick Henry anything. Well, they get Zeke Elliott for what, a couple $1 million,
if that.
It's so. It just seems weird to me. But look, who knows? Maybe Derrick Henry's not the Derrick Henry is in Baltimore. It's a different style.
Oh, you mean behind an offensive line that's good?
It's that, yes. And so, maybe it's a different deal. And I think for Derrick Henry, it worked out well. Now, look, I'm not saying I wish they would have signed Derrick Henry. I think it was a need. I think you spend some money, we couldn't afford Derrick Henry narrative. I think is completely off because you could have afforded Derrick Henry, and they could have made it work. And I'm just surprised that they didn't reach out. And I don't know, do players do that? I guess they do on some occasions. Sure. The agent reaches out, and but maybe the agent knew. Wasn't happening in Dallas.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Let's talk about this great college weekend. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, so much football in so little time. In Major League Baseball, the championship series are set. We'll break them down for you. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolfpack.
Lisa, do you have a comment for Gigi?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to tell you that you're correct. Men do say the stupidest things. Like my husband says, gee, you really eat nothing. I don't know why you're fat. And he doesn't think that that's negative.
Yeah. The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true, like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Attention active duty military and veterans. This is an important message from Lakewood University. Lakewood University is now offering an online real estate management certificate program for active duty military members and veterans. Qualifying students can graduate with zero college debt using their GI Bill benefits. Real estate is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, just as big as healthcare and legal services. With Lakewood's real estate management certificate, you'll gain all the skills needed to succeed in real estate investing. Learn how to analyze markets, value assets, and raise capital through debt and equity financing. Lakewood University has teamed up with a real estate multimillionaire to bring you this special accredited online course. And as a qualifying service member, you can graduate debt-free. If you're active duty or a veteran looking for a rewarding career path, call Lakewood University today at 800-571-4889. That's 800-571-4889. Take the next step toward your future. Call 800-571-4889 or fundsformilitary.com.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news.
Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix on a Football Friday. Hopefully the game goes a little smoother than my computer is working right now. I've got the guys from corporate support that have dove into my computer.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
That's always creepy, right? Because you see all the stuff happening and you're not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. Hang on. But they ask you questions and you have to answer right away.
That's kind of hard to do when you're in the middle of a segment.
Yes, it is. So, boy, what a great weekend of college football it is. This is a Saturday. This is why you don't plan weddings during football season.
Absolutely not. You don't do that, but people continually do. Anybody going to a wedding this weekend? And if you are, I hope it's at least at night so you don't miss the Texas OU game, although then you're going to miss the Oregon Ohio State game if you do that, but that is what it is, I guess. Yeah, sometimes brides-to-be don't give a damn about football. I went to a wedding last Saturday. Fortunately enough, there was a TV where we were. I got to see Alabama get their ass kicked. That was nice.
Did you get in trouble for being on your phone too much?
Well, I did, yeah. Absolutely. But before the wedding began, we were at the bar and there was a TV where Alabama had to take that walk of shame out of Vanderbilt.
Yep. I've got a wedding in a couple of weeks. My daughter's the maid of honor.
Yeah.
And I've been told I have to go.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Now, the reason it's that Saturday is because the dad that's paying for it's a Georgia alum and it's their bye. The groom went to Michigan. And that's also the day Michigan plays Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
He's not overly thrilled
I'm
either.
sure he's not.
Yes.
He'll get in trouble for using his phone.
Well, I mean, maybe. We'll see. You look at it this weekend, though. I mean, obviously, Texas OU front and center, especially here in Texas, but almost nationwide. And I'm so pumped to go to that game. But also, you look around and the idea that LSU at home, an underdog at home against Ole Miss, and in what is truly a playoff elimination game, which is kind of fun to think about. That's a byproduct I don't think many of us thought about when they expanded to 12. That it might be October Because you lose early in the old system, and you're done.
You're done.
Now you've been able to play a little bit more. You're going to have a 1-loss, maybe even a 2-loss team in there, and that game, Death Valley at night, that's going to be incredible. Up at Oregon, 2 against 3, Oregon and Ohio State in this classic Big Ten matchup.
All of these home dogs, it's happening in the NFL, and there's a lot of home dogs in college football this week. LSU, one of them, Oregon, one of them. It's incredible how many home dogs there are. And what I'm fascinated by, Jason, I'll be honest with you, when you look at just the Ohio State-Oregon game, you look at Penn State, USC, the Midwest schools having to travel all the way out to the West Coast to play football, will that affect them? And vice versa, when those West Coast schools have to fly in and play, in the Midwest. I mean, how those long road trips, how will that affect these teams? I'm going to be real interested to see that.
Well, and I look at like Oregon. I really like Oregon in this game, but I haven't been overly impressed with Dylan Gabriel as the Ducks quarterback. I know he's the same quarterback that beat Texas last year when he was at OU, but they haven't been as impressive as you would think. Ohio State has been. Playing that game at Oregon at that stadium, I've never been to it, but boy, I've got some family members that have, and they love it. They talk about what a tough place to play, but also you factor in the travel and everything. I just look at Ohio State being so well traveled and used to being in big games like that. Not that Oregon isn't, but it's different. Ohio State is different. I don't know that Oregon has played a team like Ohio State.
And what's fascinating about that is that you could very well see this could be the first of 2. Right. I mean, they could play again in the Big Ten championship game when it comes to that. So and there's a lot of that happening when Texas takes on Georgia next week. That could be a preview, perhaps, who knows, of an SEC championship game. So that I like that. The fact that some of these schools could play again each other. Georgia could get another shot at Alabama. Who knows how that's all going to work out. But I'm anxious to see that. And I like the fact that these West Coast schools have joined the Big Ten. I think just to have the match of Penn State, USC, I mean, it's a big deal, right? Oregon, Ohio State. You see these things, and it just I love it. And I think it's good for college football. And, man, this may be, for college football, the biggest weekend of the entire year.
It really might be. And again, what a great Saturday. And like last Saturday, we thought, what a weak schedule. It didn't feel like there were any good games on the schedule last week. There was only one top 25 matchup, and that was up in College Station, and the Aggies just boat raced Missouri in that one. But you had Vanderbilt upsetting Alabama, that thriller, that ended, 1 o'clock in the morning with Miami and Cal and Cam Ward in that incredible fourth quarter comeback. I mean, last Saturday, on a day where we didn't think we were going to have many good games, turned out that we had a lot of really, really good games. This week, where we have a lot of great matchups, I just hope it lives up to all the hype with all the games.
Well, I hope it does too. I honestly believe this, and I know it's a rivalry game, and everybody's trying to tell me different, but Texas is going to spank Oklahoma this weekend.
Well, I hope so.
They're going to spank them. I don't think this is going to be a game in the second half. I really don't. Now, I know Oklahoma's defense is good, but I don't think they've seen anything like that Texas offense. And Texas, their defense should just smother Oklahoma's offense. I really don't think that's going to be a good game for 4 quarters. Maybe close early in the first quarter, but I think Texas will impose its will, and they will kick their butts. The best game, well, I think there's going to be 2 of them. I think that Ohio State-Oregon game is going to be good. I think it'll be close. Whoever you want to pick there, you pick. And then the Ole Miss-LSU game, I think, is going to be a good one too. But I think both of those games go down to the wire.
Yeah, and locally, UTSA, they should have a get-right game against Rice.
But, they're only favored by 3.5 points.
Well, it's UTSA hasn't earned a big and again, you look at Kurt Warner's kids quarterbacking Rice. When he was at Temple, he threw all over the place against UTSA. And UTSA has to go out there and make some noise. They've got to go prove it. And this is one of those games coming off a bye where I think they can. Here locally, UIW has a huge game against Nichols. And you look at UIW in the national rankings, they're right there. Nichols State kind of spoiled some of their fun last year, so a little bit of a revenge game. I have a feeling that UIW is going to get that done. And up the road in San Marcos, a sellout game at Bobcat Stadium.
How about that?
And what I love about what I'm seeing in San Marcos is they've got a president that gives a damn. And Don Coryell, after getting promoted to athletic director, the full support of the university and what they're doing with that football program and what G.J. Kinney is doing, and they're getting everybody out. The fact that they had a tweet that, the way they do their student tickets, they can't guarantee every student gets in because they've sold some. Get there early.
Yeah.
Boy, you talk about RPP, rich people problems. I'm so happy for those in San Marcos that finally they are being treated like a real football program.
Absolutely. And they haven't been since the early 80s. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, because that's when the heyday of Jim Wacker and those teams.
And he's smiling.
Of course he is. Of course he is. And so I'm happy to see it. But keep in mind, what does that stadium hold? 12, 13,000 maybe?
It might be a little more than that.
Maybe a little more than that.
But it should always be sold out.
It should always be sold out. But the excitement that they brought back to that program, I'm happy about it, and I'm excited for everybody up there.
Absolutely. What a great weekend coming up in college football. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You've got your weekend plans, and none of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. It happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because of course you do. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. After a 2-week road trip, the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions at home.
I like this kind of party.
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210. 2210.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your ride at HEB.
Here's your chance to own Texas coastal property for your vacations and rental income. Hi, I'm Jason with Eden Development. We're excited to invite you to our exclusive one-day land sale Saturday, October 19th to discover coastal luxury RV sites or turnkey tiny homes. Yours for as little as $59.9. That's right, $59.9. These exclusive properties offer a resort-style pool, lazy river, community clubhouse, fishing pier, boat storage, private lake access, pickleball courts, and much more. Located minutes from the stunning beaches of Rockport and Port Aransas, these sites are perfect for family vacations or as a lucrative rental investment. This land sale is one day only, Saturday, October 19th, by appointment only. Call now, 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380. Excellent financing options. Call now to schedule your private showing. 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380.
It's time to shift seasons in style at Macy's Fab Fall Sale. Save on all the things you can't wait to wear, like shoe and boot specials 30 to 40% off, and coats for your crew 30 to 60% off. Plus, elevate your tabletop with hosting essentials from Gottinger, The Cellar, Thirsty Stone, and more 50% off. Even better, take an extra 20% off with your coupon or Macy's card. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
George gets justice. No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big weekend of football, both college and the NFL, but we'll start with tomorrow. Texas taking on OU. Quinn Ewers is back. He will start for Texas when they take on Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Kickoff for that game set for 2:30 on ABC. UTSA is in Houston tomorrow. They'll take on Rice. Kickoff there at 6 o'clock. As for the pros, Cowboys got some bad news today. Linebacker Eric Kendricks has been ruled out.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix on this Football Friday.
Great day here at Heroes Stadium where you're getting ready for the Stone Oak Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Our high school game of the week tonight, energized by Hill Electric, Frost Bank, and NCE General Contractors. Number 4 in the city, Johnson, versus number 5 in the city, Reagan.
Ought to be it always is a good one, right?
It is, although Reagan leads the overall series 12-4. And it's been a couple years since Johnson has beaten the Reagan Rattlers.
So, well, Reagan's big brother, but you can throw out the records when these two teams meet. Nothing matters.
Wow.
It's just brutal, hard-nosed football. I don't know who that is.
I was going to say.
That's just some cheese ball trying to do an imitation.
A bad one.
A bad one.
But it sounded good.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
It's football.
Who's that supposed to be?
I don't know. Football guy.
All of a sudden, Squiggy is doing head coach duties. The hell is
Who's that dude that used to be for NFL Films? Monday Night Football. Not him, but
you're talking about John Vicenda?
There was a guy. Remember him? The NFL Films guy.
The voice of God? That's nowhere close. That's disrespectful if that's what you were trying to
Jason,
do.
I'm trying.
If that's what you were trying to do,
for trying. Come on.
That's just awful. My goodness, is that awful?
I'm trying to figure out if he's talking about John Facenda or Leif Schreiber.
Well, who's the guy from Westwood One? Is it Westwood One? You know, that guy's got that voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Monday Night Football.
But I mean, you talk about like the voice of of Hard Knocks and Leave, or John Facenda from NFL Films. You're not even a close mix.
Dude, I'm trying. I don't hear you trying.
Well, I mean, I'm not disrespecting.
Nobody's disrespecting anybody. Maybe it's just Joe Reinagel with a new voice. Maybe that's who I'm stealing my lucky charms. Exactly.
Did you happen to see the clip from the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelce?
I did not. No.
I'm trying to think if I can even describe what they were talking about. Although they were talking about the NFLPA's new thing to try to get reporters out of the locker room because guys are in there naked. And Jason's like, I don't even care. I don't think people are in there looking, and I'm not overly impressive anyway. Nobody's coming in and wow, I'm not going to wow anybody. Gets the job done. Got a couple of kids, but he starts talking about, he's more mortified like at a sauna with old people. and the fact that some old guys can drag those, they sag that so far down, and then he's dragging them across the floor, and he's worried about a burn and a splinter. I mean,
well, that's true. When's the last time you were in a sauna?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, for me too, but it is kind of.
It's always weird.
It's kind of weird,
I
right?
mean, being in a locker room is not. The sauna is just because of old dudes. And you're almost at the age where you are the old dude.
Well, I'm not dragging yet. I'm still okay there. I'm not dragging, and I'm not overly impressive either, like Jason Kelce. So, I mean, it's all good.
Well, that's it. I mean, but again, and I think Kelce said it the best. And nobody's complaining about this. They just want to do fewer interviews and give less access.
Well, that's exactly right. This is just an excuse. But I have seen some well-hung gentlemen walking around locker rooms. I'm just saying.
Well, and you're not staring at them. They're just there.
But they don't try to hide it either, and I probably wouldn't either. I mean, I'd be looking for a camera saying, right here, baby, that's me.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You see that, ladies?
Well, that's it. And as Jason Kelce said, if guys are worried about that, they can go into the bathroom. There's other places where reporters aren't allowed where they could get dressed.
Absolutely, they could. But, there have been a few of those caught on live television.
But those guys know what they're doing.
Well, sure they do. And like I say, if that was me, I'd find every camera there was in there and just kind of sneak behind.
Well, thank God that's not you.
Some of those guys, man.
Pledge, do you have Blink's All the Small Things ready to go for Joe Reinagel? Apparently that's his theme song.
Dude, you know my Tyrone Corbin story.
Stop.
Scared the hell out of me, man. Golly. I was just a baby going in the locker room, and I was, whoa.
Stop.
I had no idea. Goodness gracious.
You all right?
I'm fine now, yeah. We got a good 12 inches here that we can play with. That's not even close.
You're not playing with that.
I'm just
Stop playing.
You don't play with that.
No.
That's a monster.
Good Lord, man.
Oh, my goodness. Wonder what Tyrone is doing these days.
Who cares? God.
He knows how big he swings it.
He's got a big swinger. He did.
Well, Pledge, it's Friday. I mean, we went on track for like a good 2 hours.
Yeah, well, that's too long.
Is it?
We need to get this thing off the tracks.
Really?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Come on.
I didn't bring up Tyrone Corbin.
Yeah, that's not the track I want to go down.
I'm just saying, it's experiences that we're talking about guys in locker rooms, and the reason they don't want cameras in there, some guys do.
Well, yes.
Well, I remember it was a big a big deal when they started letting ladies into the locker rooms. I mean, that was a big deal because for a long time they weren't allowed in there.
And that's really, I mean, you got to understand the times. What happened, in the late 80s, early 90s, and what happens now. I was working at Channel 5 at the time as I think you were. I'm not sure if you were there yet or just started. Lisa Worley was a part of the Ken's 5 sports team. And, some of the stories that she dealt with, and there were others. And let's face it, guys at that time, not necessarily used to having ladies in the locker room, became a little bit more revealing, if you will.
Yes.
I think in an effort to make the ladies a little bit more uncomfortable. I don't know that that's necessarily the case now.
Well, I don't say it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, for Pete's sake, you get, I mean, in the NBA, it's a 10-minute cooling off period, right? And most of the NBA guys, at least Spurs, will, the shower's in a different area and they come out and they have towels on, right?
Yeah.
And they're hooked, right? And they put their chones on with the towel still around them.
Yes.
So, I mean, most athletes know what they're doing, and it's just part of the.
And that's it. You can have a towel. I mean, it's not like reporters are in the shower, like, while they're soaping up and you're asking questions. I mean, that doesn't happen.
Hey, Seymour Wiener.
Good Lord, Pledge.
Well, I've been in a lot of locker rooms. It happens.
You're an idiot.
It happens, right? I felt bad, and I said maybe feeling bad is not the right word, but for the ladies, because sometimes they go in there, they're a little bit, like it's a different place for them.
Yeah. Well, what I'm curious, and I don't remember honestly, what was the rule when we had the WNBA team here? I know that I'd been in that locker room. But and it's a standard locker room. But if I remember right, most of the ladies would go to a different part of the locker room, and they would come back more or less dressed already. They could do that as well, right? There's ways to do this.
There are, but I think the Kelseys have it right. It's just the NFL and the Players Association is trying to limit the media a little bit.
That's exactly what it is.
And hopefully it won't pass. Because, look, the media is a necessary evil. Whether you like them or not, it's a necessary evil. And so these guys are just going to have to deal with it.
And the other side of that evil is when something gets out that probably wasn't meant that way, like what we had yesterday with the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need caps made. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display right now in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. If you need t-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a dress shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. Nobody has better prices, and Sammy has all the big name brands like Eddie Bauer, North Face, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Sammy is also the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. You need one item, 2 dozen items, 25,000 items or more. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900. 824-3900, or better yet, go down to that massive showroom. It's down on San Pedro, about a mile inside 410, across from the McDonald's, right next to the Big Lots, or go to the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEAT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEAT to 42424. That's BEAT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
If you know Tecovas, you know we make some of the best and most comfortable cowboy boots around. But what you might not know is that a new Tecovas store is now open at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Come see us at 5300 Broadway and let us help you find your new favorite pair of boots. Tecovas, don't go gently.
Football season is here, and I-10 Ice House has your favorite matchup on massive 10-foot screens and daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All our media friends are texting us stories about things that have happened in the locker room.
Yes.
I will say, good friend that used to work with the WNBA, they used to shower after the media session.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to remember, but I guess so. The game's over, media
media a certain amount of time. After that, then they could go shower, which makes more sense.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, why not? I've always wondered that. Why not have the NBA guys do that, or even the football players do? You get the media in, you get them out, and then you got the rest of the time. I've never understood that. And when it comes to the NBA, I'll be honest with that 10-minute rule, nobody ever follows that.
No, but I wonder, though, could this end up biting the players in the ass? Because, there are some guys that take forever to come out to do their media obligations.
Yeah.
But as long as they do it, then it's okay. That follows contractually what their obligations are as an athlete. There are some, game is over, and they might go lift. They might, go see the trainer. They might go do a lot of things, and could be 30, 40 minutes, especially a star player.
You talking about Tim Duncan?
All the media is waiting around.
Yeah.
And Tim would miraculously appear out by the shower and do his stuff and go, and he'd be the last one.
Well, sometimes Timmy would walk through the door and just stand there, and if nobody came over to him, he was gone. So I do wonder if, and maybe that's what it is, You got 20 minutes for interviews, and then you guys go shower and go do your thing. Exactly right.
And trust me, from the media standpoint, we would all appreciate that.
We would all appreciate that, because we could get it done, get our job done sooner, and not have to wait around. And then that way you've got the rest of the time. You go take your shower, go lift, get your massage, whatever you're going to do after the game. So there are some changes that could be made when it comes to media and professional athletes, but you could do it where it's considerate of everybody. But to try and shut the media out completely is just wrong. And it just is. And whether you like it or not, and I know that Jason and I are in the media business, and so you probably think we're just, crying because that's the business that we're in. But seriously, and Jerry Jones will tell you this, and that's why he is such a media-friendly owner, and one of the very few, because they're falling off the face of the earth as we speak. But the media is a necessary evil. It gets the word out. It gets the players in front of their fans, and it's necessary. And I've always felt that way, and I don't understand some teams that are not media friendly. It just doesn't make sense.
Are you talking about the Spurs?
They're one of them. Yeah.
I mean, because in reality, especially like what we've gone through here in San Antonio, you get these guys out doing stuff, and you become fans of them because you learn them as people. The idea that every week on this radio station we have the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and we have Stephen Jones, who will soon be the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. And we get player access. This radio station is 16 years old. We'll be, 17 in February. And outside of what guys choose to do in the offseason, we've never had a Spur player on the air or come in studio. One of them just retired, Danny Green, and I can tell you, Danny Green has been in our studio a bunch, and as soon as the season was over, text, when do you want me on? He used to come in studio and just watch so he could learn. Like, we wouldn't even interview him. He just wanted to see what the broadcasting side was like. Tony Parker has been in studio because he was promoting something and, wanted to come in. But on a regular, we don't get those interviews. In the last several years, when this team has been dreadful, you would think that, all right, well, let's get to know a Keldon Johnson a little bit better. Let's get to know a Devin Vassell a little bit better, because we're not winning games, but we can win over fans by telling these great stories and seeing these great personalities.
Well, and you just get to, like the interview we had yesterday with, was Jacob Toby?
Yeah.
Correct. Great guy, by the way.
The new voice of
television.
Not a player.
Television play-by-play guy who took over for Bill Land. And Great guy. And we learned some things about him that you probably would have never learned if you weren't listening or he didn't do an interview. And that's the point that we're making. I mean, just to get to know people on a different level. You're going to get to know this guy by watching him on Spurs broadcasts with Sean Elliott. And you know, you're going to like him. I assume you're going to like him. He seems like a very likable guy. And from the games that I've heard him do, he's good at what he does. So, but just to get to know him, the fact that he's a musician.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much they'll talk about that on the broadcast. And the fact that, you know, he and Bill Shoney might, you know, collaborate and do something. I mean, just stuff like that you just don't get.
We're at training camp, Brandon Hoffman and, the 3 double cheeseburgers are rooting for a guy like Jalen Brooks. And I know for us, because we get that personal connection during the interview, but we also hear from a lot of listeners that they really enjoy that, because we're not going to just every interview. Well, what happened on this play? What happened on that play?
Right.
That's not really what we do. We're storytellers.
Absolutely.
And the TV stations, when they're doing features, there's a difference between, game reports and kind of doing a game recap and telling stories.
I just think that I wish there were teams that were more media, and it's not just the Spurs. It's a lot of teams that are that way. And look, and it comes from the top. Pop is not a media guy necessarily, and he's always been that way. So, who knows when the next coach comes in, whenever that happens to be, maybe he's a different philosophy. We'll see.
But one of the other things too is, you talk about teams that aren't necessarily media friendly. You look at the Patriots all those years with Bill Belichick, who had no personality, Nick Saban in the rat poison, both of them killing it in the TV business.
Right.
Both of them are fun to watch on television. And quite frankly, I thought Saban would be pretty good. I'm surprised at how good and how open Bill Belichick has actually been on television.
He's been great. He has been fantastic. I mean, Belichick is a lot of fun to watch. And I know he wants to get back into coaching. And as soon as he gets back into coaching, he's going to turn into Bill Belichick again. But right now, to see that personality, I never knew he was like that.
No.
I think Nick Saban doesn't surprise me as much as Bill Belichick does, to be totally honest with you, when it comes to their personality on TV. But and we'd have never known that until they get on TV. But I don't understand why teams are afraid and so guarded with their players and coaches that, we're not sitting here going to ask them about, hey, what's that play you ran and what play are you going to run tomorrow night again? And we're not going to do that. Nobody in the media is going to do that.
But in reality, there is this guard of somebody giving out a secret. I was a little surprised, and Jeff Traylor has said this more than once during his appearances on the Blitz, and he probably says it on the Morning Huddle and other interviews that he does. Well, I don't want to tell you that because I know they're listening.
Sure.
Right. And so like dealing with injured players or being a little bit honest.
Fair enough.
And we do know that, I'm sure he's got somebody on his staff trying to listen to the interviews just see if you can learn something. And that happens. So you've got to be careful. And maybe that's the fear, is they don't want somebody to say something stupid. Now, you've got guys that have the ability to just jump on a podcast to say all the stupid things that they want. You know what I mean? But again, it's about being smart. I can tell you that, last week when we were at Ancira Nissan, I had a couple of players on talking with UTSA, like, hey, just making sure you guys know. Who do you have? Okay, now those guys are fine.
Right.
Because they want to make sure who's out front and center and what they're representing. And you get that.
But you get to those two guys are a perfect example. We get to know those guys. JT Clark is the locker room clown, if you will, right? I mean, he likes to have fun. He likes to imitate people and all of that kind of stuff. So, and it's just things that you don't get to know. So like it or not, and I know every professional team knows this, it's a necessary evil. You have to have them, whether you like it or not. It's just part of the job, and it's unfortunate that some will buck this or try to buck it as much as possible, and others, well, embrace it.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let's get into that Zeke. I don't even want to call it a controversy, but boy, Jerry Jones laid out what the real plan is for the Dallas Cowboys at running back. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, so much football in so little time.
And Major League Baseball, the championship series are set. We'll break them down for you. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo, and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Do you want to add more fun to watching NFL games? Jason Minnix here from the Blitz. Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com and start playing the Pick'em game. Love playing Pick'em just about every game I play. Love winning money. You too can as well. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats like passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, field goals made. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward. Signing up is easy. Just go to the mobile app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites like Little Caesars. This week, buy one Ultimate Supreme and get an extra most bestest pepperoni pizza free from Little Caesars, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Football season is here, and I-10 Ice House has your favorite matchup on massive 10-foot screens and daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix on a Football Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. The weekend is upon us.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah, about 10:30 tonight, it will actually begin for me.
Well, some of you have to work a little longer than some of us.
Oh, that's true. Man, I've got the Stone Oak Super Bowl tonight. Johnson, Reagan, our high school game of the week, energized by Hill Electric, Frost Bank, and NCE General Contractors. Should be a great game tonight that kicks off a great weekend. And I'm looking forward to this game a lot. Obviously, tomorrow, Texas OU, I'm going to that game for the first time, checking one off the bucket list. Happy about that. And then Sunday, I am going to the Cowboys-Lions game. I'm excited. Anytime you go to a game, it's a lot of fun. And I know I'm going to that Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party. That will be a lot of fun. I'm worried about the game on Sunday. Although my feelings this year, Joe, towards the Cowboys, I'm not going to let it put me in a bad mood.
Well, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call my mortgage guy and take out a second mortgage and bet everything on the Lions if you're going to be in the building. Dude, that's as easy as win as I'm ever going to have. You're going to be there. Cowboys are toast.
I mean, you say that. I've had a really good run, except for the last three.
Exactly.
Right? At some point, that's got to turn, does it not?
Well, at some point it does.
I mean, at some point, I think, I don't know, they had a 16-game home winning streak in the regular season.
Yes.
And, I was there for a bunch of those. I don't know what's happened. I really don't think it's me.
Well, I do. I'm just telling you, good advice to everybody that's listening out there now. Put all your money on the Detroit Lions. Do it before Vegas finds out Minnix is going to be there and they raise the line. So just get your money in on Detroit. Do it quick.
It is kind of weird. Everybody is on Detroit, whether I'm in the building or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
what is that? The Cowboys are so banged up, man. It's going to take a superior effort for them to, or Detroit's going to have to poop the bed. I mean, honestly, because with Kendricks out, if you haven't heard, linebacker and quarterback of the defense, Eric Kendricks, has been ruled out for Sunday's game. Mike is not going to play. Obviously, D-Law's not there. Deron Bland, questionable. Kalen Carson, questionable. They're just so banged up on defense right now. It's going to be tough.
We'll get the latest on the Cowboys at 5:15 when our buddy John Machota from The Athletic joins us. But in reality, fully healthy. You saw the schedule. You marked this as a loss. Detroit revenge game. Detroit is one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFC. The Cowboys didn't address the run defense. Detroit runs the ball well.
They do. Two great running backs.
Cowboys didn't address their problems in the run game. And guess what? They don't run the ball well. Although last week they did run the ball well. And one of the things that we thought we were going to see improvement is in the red zone and short yardage situations. That was one of the reasons we were told they brought back Ezekiel Elliott. Last week, goal line situation, game on the line, it was Rico in the backfield, not Zeke. Zeke only had a handful of carries in that game. He did. And he is healthy. Yesterday, Zeke, talking by his locker, did say that he's talked to coaches about his role because it clearly is a much more diminished role than we thought it would be. Now, there was a tweet from our friend Clarence Hill Jr., and Clarence basically said Zeke has talked to coaches, and he remains dumbfounded about his reduced role. Now, Zeke never used the term dumbfounded. Zeke, that was the interpretation that Clarence Hill after the media session, and he put out a tweet. Zeke did say, though, and you can hear it in his voice, sounds a little frustrated, but being a team guy, you can hear that in his voice, but also does say he's asked the coaches, what the hell's going on here?
One of the things you've always been exceptional at in your career is scoring in short yardage situations. How surprised are you weren't in there in those situations?
No, I want to be in there. I don't know.
Have you asked for a more defined role?
I've talked a little bit, but just kind of, letting it play itself out.
Letting it play itself out. Well, if he's talked to the coaches, you would think that they might have said, Zeke, this is the plan right here because, Jerry Jones has a plan in mind when it comes to his running backs.
That's an exaggeration. Dumbfounded is an exaggeration. It's a bad description of how he feels about things. He's very much aware of the part of the running game that he's involved with. But more importantly is, and I can't emphasize this enough, we're saving him, and we should be. And we want him for Rico is an outstanding running back. He's always had the challenge, mainly, I guess, because of his size of doing the blocking, protecting the quarterback. But his big problem has been what? He's had troubles with injury over his career. And so it'd be madness to just rely on him for the duration of the season and into the playoffs we've got. Zeke is there. He will be there because we want to protect him during this particular time as much as anything. And then, of course, you got a player like Dalvin Cook out there in the wings that is going to be very material as we go forward. Don't exaggerate that. That doesn't mean that that's big news. But the point is they're there for everybody to see. It's no secret, and we're going to use them. I keep my fingers crossed. Every time I see Rico grab that ball, he's a violent runner. He's an outstanding runner. And we wouldn't even be having a running back conversation if he'd been able to stay healthy the last 2 or 3 years.
Interesting. And that Jerry Jones is that open and he's telling you exactly what the plan is. They're afraid Rico Dowdle's going to get hurt, and they want to have a fresh Zeke Elliott at the ready when that happens.
Zeke and Dalvin Cook are insurance policies for when Rico gets hurt. Not if, but when. And that is the Cowboys' approach. They really like Rico, and clearly they do. He's stuck around for a long time. But they have zero confidence that he can stay healthy for all 17 games and whatever they get in the playoffs. You don't have to like the plan. I don't. But Jerry gave us a very clear idea of what the plan is at running back. The idea that Zeke is short yardage in red zone, that might be true. But clearly last week against Pittsburgh, that wasn't the case because Jerry would be sick if Zeke would have gotten hurt on that play because that's their insurance policy.
Think about what that says, though. That was at the time they were behind The Cowboys were behind in that game. They were trying for the go-ahead touchdown, and you're afraid to put your so-called short yardage guy in the backfield? I mean, that's ridiculous. Is it not?
Well, I mean, various plays call for various runners. Now, the play that was called and what Rico did on that play were two different things, because clearly Rico was supposed to follow the pulling Zach Martin, and he didn't do that. He tried to dive over the top, and maybe they didn't think Zeke would be able to run following. I don't know.
Because, I don't get it.
You know, Stephen Jones on the Blitz yesterday said we never question what Mike and Shoddy decide on the play and the personnel groupings.
Well, we never question, who Mike and Shoddy want to put in the game, depending on plays. And so never question that.
So stop
certainly.
there, right? Hey, it's funny. You hear that from Steven, and then you couple that with what you heard with Jerry. That doesn't seem to add up, does it?
Not at all.
No. It doesn't add up. As far as Dalvin Cook, Jerry continues to say, there's no timetable when we're going to bring him up.
No, there's no timeline, and just like there's no bright line as to Zeke snaps, who goes in first, all of those things, that's not important here.
That's not important. Of course not, because we're just going to run Rico until he gets hurt, and then we'll decide what we're going to do after that. Look, I don't know. A lot of things the Cowboys have done. When I think back on that particular game in Pittsburgh, Rico was running the ball well, and maybe that was the decision too. It's like, this guy's running well. He can pick up the necessary yardage, get in the end zone, and we'll take the lead. But if Zeke Elliott is your so-called short yardage guy, and that's why you brought him back apparently, and that you're trying to win a football game here, you can't worry about, Zeke might get hurt on that play. And it just baffles me. And then what Jerry's saying, who knows? Jerry is maybe in his own world, and Mike McCarthy and Stephen Jones are over here, and Jerry's over here saying what he's saying, and it's just nuts in Dallas right now.
Well, and again, it just seems like a bad plan, and part of it, they didn't draft a good young running back. They got a couple of old guys in Zeke and Dalvin Cook. Look, I don't know if Dalvin Cook is going to be any better than Zeke, but you brought him in. I'd rather see it.
I'd like to.
I mean, and I'm afraid that the reason we're not seeing it is because we're not going to like it. If Mike McCarthy's job, which is on the line, by the way,
absolutely,
his job is to put the best, 46, 48 guys on the active roster on game day. I need these guys can help us win a football game. And Dalvin Cook is yet to qualify as one of the best guys. It's got to be more than we're just saving him. And he's on the practice squad. I realize any team can sign somebody off a practice squad, but that player on the squad has to be willing to go. But nobody's looking at signing Dalvin Cook off the practice squad. San Francisco rolled in another running back last night that, was on a milk carton last week, and he ran the ball well because they have a young stable of running backs that can go in and do the job. None of them are Christian McCaffrey, but it's not like a major drop-off where, knowing what Zeke has left in his role, let me rephrase that, when Rico gets hurt, according to Jerry, you're going to have to completely change the offense because Zeke can't run the ball like that anymore.
Can't do it. I mean, and who can? If Dalvin's not that guy, well, then you've got nobody, right? I mean, you've got nobody. Rico Dowdle has the ability to break away, right? Break into the open, and Zeke doesn't have that anymore. Does Dalvin? Well, we don't know because we haven't seen him in game action yet. So I'm not sure whether he does or not. And then after that, you've got Deuce Vaughn. We've seen Deuce Vaughn, and he ain't getting it done.
Oh, he might.
He's not getting it done.
He might.
What I don't understand, if you're not going to use Zeke, are you afraid that Hunter Lupke's going to get hurt? Why not hand the football off to Hunter Lupke when you're 2 yards away from the end zone and let that big mass of a man bowl his way into the end zone? None of it makes sense to me at all. The only thing I can think is that Rico was running the football well, and they thought this is no problem. He can pick up the necessary yardage to get into the end zone.
And there are certain plays for certain guys and whatever the case is, but it was surprising not to see Zeke in that goal line situation with the game on the line. And you can only imagine what the bleep storm would have been this week had Rico fumbled and Dak not recovered it. That recovery was the play of the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think about every other play in that game. If Dak Prescott does not dive on that football, then this whole week is a very different narrative about Rico, about play calling, about Zeke, about everything. And not every quarterback would have dove on that football. In fact, Dak Prescott doing what quarterbacks are told to do, you hand it off and you kind of follow the ball. But how often do you see quarterbacks hand it off and run some sort of fake to see if there's some play action? If he would have rolled away to try to completely sell a fake, he would have been out of position. But he did turn and watch the play following the ball, which is what quarterbacks at all levels are trained to do, and then gave up his body to be able to get that. I mean, it wasn't I mean, you go back, that fumble recovery was a split second away from being Pittsburgh's ball.
So at the time was the play of the game, right? Until he throws the touchdown pass to Jalen Tolbert. But that's
quite honestly, it's still the play of the game, because if he doesn't recover it and he never gets a chance to throw it to the severely injured Jalen Tolbert.
Now, if Dowdle ran the wrong way, I don't know, but he was trying to dive over the pile. The defender for Pittsburgh made a great play, hit the ball perfectly and knocked it out. So, I don't want to say you can't blame Dowdle for fumbling that, because I think it was a great play on the defender's part. But he did. Dak was there, and it set him up. And if you were that made it fourth down. That's the other thing that's so baffling. If Rico, and again, I'm assuming they thought he was running well, and they're going to hand him the ball and he can get the necessary yardage. But it was third down. It was third down at that point in time. And so wouldn't you want to have your best short yardage guy in the play at that time, run a play that is specific to Zeke Elliott or Hunter Luepke or whomever you have in there? It's just baffling.
Well,
sometimes with the Cowboys.
And again, the baffling part to me was,
I'm dumbfounded, Jason.
The don't misquote anybody. The pulling guard. I had a high school coach text me right after that. Who in the pulls a guard on the goal line?
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that initially. And then you watch the replay and you think, wow.
Yeah.
And so Rico, I think, did run the wrong way. He should have followed Zach Martin. And if he follows Zach Martin, he's in pretty easily.
Who knows? What? It's amazing to me. But thank God for Jerry Jones.
The Cowboys can make the easiest things difficult, can't they?
Thank God for Jerry Jones to tell us exactly what the plan is and exactly what they're doing and why Zeke Elliott is not playing and why he's dumbfounded, allegedly, and all of those things. But Jerry knows what the plan is. Nobody else seems to know what the plan is, but Jerry Jones does.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I think every player out there knows. You want to know what's going on, you listen to Jerry doing his interviews. I mean, that's how Dalvin Cook realized he wasn't going to be active in a week.
That's it.
It's just bizarre, and it just goes back to the piss poor job that the front office did in the offseason of putting together this team. And for Mike McCarthy, who is coaching for his job with 1 year left on his deal, to have this pile of groceries that he's got to make something out of, knowing that the front office didn't do their part. I mean, and it's not just at running back. You look at linebacker, news today breaks Eric Kendricks is out with a shoulder and a calf injury. His backup, Nick Vigil's on the injury report with a foot. We talked about stopping the run and getting some linebackers for him, and they didn't do a good job there either. They found a bunch of old guys that didn't want to work.
Mamazi, hey.
Well, he's not a linebacker.
I'm just saying we got to stop the run this week because Detroit can run the football. They've got two capable running backs, and it's time for Mozzie to earn his pay. At least part of it anyway, at least partly on him to do that. It's going to be tough for the Cowboys this week. That's why Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are going to have to pull some rabbits out of their behinds, because they're going to have to try and keep up with that Lions offense. And I think the Lions are going to be able to move the football and score quite a bit.
And the Cowboys should be able to move the ball against that Lions defense.
They should.
Especially through the air. Now, can they protect Dak Prescott enough to let some of those plays develop downfield? But this has got to be one of the games where Dak Prescott has to lead the team, because if they get into a shootout, they'll have a chance. But they've got to be able to stay balanced and run the ball well with Rico. Hopefully he stays healthy, and then capitalize in the passing game and keep that running game for Detroit on the sideline. I think this is one of those games where time of possession, you look at that and you could probably see who wins the game, barring a bunch of turnovers. I mean, if Dak has 3 turnovers this week like he did last week, they'll have no chance at winning.
No chance at all. And they'll fall behind, and then they'll have to go into their 2-minute drill, according to Mike McCarthy. And we all know that doesn't work out too well. 2-minute drill in the first quarter. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
That we do is, personnel based, and it's it kind of varies each week. How many personnel groupings that we carry into a game. So they're all tagged, but they, just like anything, some of those personnel groups are a moving target. There's a preferred, and then it's if you're also go to a hurry up play, because you know how much you watch it, but sometimes we just line right up on the ball, so you're not able to make the substitution to the preferred personnel. So we have plays that can be ran out of any personnel. So I mean, it's, like I said, it's not an exact science where you sit there and I think like anything, you have to determine how you want to play offensively. We're not a sit around, take the ball, take the clock all the way down to 1 second offense. We want to get up and get after the defense as fast as we can, because we want as many trips to the plate in a 60-minute game. So, I mean, all those things factor in how your personnel is distributed throughout the game. So you have, multiple personnel groups, but in the position, particularly, I guess what you're referring to is the running backs, sometimes your running backs are on a little bit of a, serious pitch count. Some guys can go 4 or 5 plays in a row. Some guys can go 6. Some guy breaks a long run, I mean, it's not uncommon that you're calling a play quickly for a certain guy, but he's coming off the field because he just ran a 60-yard go, or he broke a back, or it's his 5th play. So there's moving parts to your substitution plan, and so it's not as distinct as maybe hockey is.
As hockey is.
Exactly.
We're having line changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Might need a line change. Who knows? That was Mike McCarthy this morning on the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Let's look around the rest of the NFL weekend. Texans they got the Patriots. Yeah. Let's get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. After a 2-week road trip, the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Our own Reverend Charles, everybody. Good morning, Reverend.
John, y'all a little joke a lot, Captain joke a lot all the time.
Right.
And you funny.
Thank you.
J.D. Ryan's funny, Turley, old Pregame.
Bobo's most funny.
No, I don't find Bobo funny at all. Remember that old song by Randy Newman, Show People?
Yeah.
Got no reason to live?
No,
that's Bobo right there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your car, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Football season is here, and I-10 Ice House has your favorite matchup on massive 10-foot screens and daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Lives have been impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. You can provide food, shelter, and care by donating now. Go to redcross.org and offer your support today.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Rue. And when you show up at the Rue Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the Big Blind, the Rue Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Cowboys got some bad news today. The captain of the defense, linebacker Eric Kendricks, has been ruled out of Sunday's game against the Detroit Lions. Micah Parsons also ruled out. Deron Bland, well, he's questionable for Sunday's game against the Detroit Lions. Good news for the Texans, though. Running back Joe Mixon is expected to play, and Quinn Ewers is going to play when Texas meets Oklahoma Saturday, kickoff 2:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix on this Football Friday.
Beautiful day out here at Hero Stadium. I love it when the shadows start to come down and start to cover the field. Who's the home team tonight, Minnix?
Well, if you look at the scoreboard there, sir, it says Reagan.
I don't need to look at the scoreboard. I'm asking you.
It's literally right there on the scoreboard.
I'm looking at you. I can't see the scoreboard from where I'm at.
You really can. It's in the press box. The scoreboard is there for you to be able to see. Like, you can see everything in this stadium from this seat. That's why we sit here.
Well, that's pretty good, but I have to kind of lean over to see that.
Oh, you prima donna.
I do, and
Jeez.
I don't see where it says Reagan.
Do you not know how to read a scoreboard?
Well, I
it
see
says
60 minutes and 2 timeouts left, 3 timeouts left.
Right under the Whataburger sign where it says Reagan in red, and then on the other side,
I can't see that.
How can you not see that?
I can't see it.
You don't see that.
Nope.
Do you need the binoculars?
I apparently do.
Good Lord.
I'm just saying. So Reagan's the home team.
More or less, yeah.
Now, you see, you could have avoided all of that hassle if you just say, Reagan, Joe, is the home team. The reason I asked that question, Jason, is because the home team is going to be much cooler to start this game than the visiting team, because the shadow is over the home team bench, while the sun is blazing on the visitors' bench on the other side of the field.
According to my computer, it's 94 and sunny outside.
How about that? Well, it is sunny. I can see that.
But it's 5:05.
And OU still sucks.
And OU still sucks. Very well said. But when I look across the way and I think about kickoff at 7:30, it won't be as blazing hot.
Well, it won't be as blazing hot, but the sun is now 7:30. The sun's been going down now about 7:30. Right? Have you noticed that? The days are getting shorter.
Well, you realize it happens.
It does.
Every year about this time.
Isn't it about time for us to fall back?
I don't know when that is, but I hate it.
I like it in a way because although it gets dark faster, but I like that extra hour of sleep.
Whatever. According to my phone, sunset tonight is at 7:06 p.m.
Well, there you go. Then nobody will have an advantage, will they?
Not really. When it comes to this, sunrise at 7:33 apparently.
How about that?
I will see that tomorrow at the airport.
Yes, you will.
I will
tomorrow.
I don't see sunrise very often, and generally it's at an airport when I do. But you look at, like this game, I'm not sure when is daylight saving. Somebody tweet that to us at Joe Reinagel 210 at Jason Minnix. I am not a fan of the time change. I wish we would get on at the time, the current one, and stay on it year round.
Well, I agree with that. I'd just like to do that too, because I really hate the spring forward thing. That one sucks. When you lose an hour of sleep. So if it is, leave it alone.
You don't even notice, but I prefer the spring forward because we get more daylight.
I don't like it. I lose an hour of sleep.
You don't even notice it,
No,
Grandpa.
I do notice it.
You really don't.
I notice
But in reality, don't all of us want more daylight at the end of the day?
Well, sure.
I mean, unless you're one of those people that get up early and go for a run at 5 a.m., And by then, I figure there's something wrong with you anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're going to run no matter what. I always think I'm going to wake up early and walk in the morning. And
doesn't work.
It doesn't happen. So I walk at night when I do, and I prefer to have daylight.
Okay. Well, that's terrific.
I don't like when we get off the air and it's already dark outside.
Well, talk to the politicians. I mean, somebody's got to come up with that.
I mean, I don't care if you're independent, Republican, Democrat, whatever the other parties are. What's that crazy party that they always run and nobody ever wins from there? You know, if somebody were to say, this is what I'm going to do, and they could guarantee it, they'd get my vote. It's kind of like sports gambling. You know, whoever decides it says that's guaranteed to happen, you'll get my vote.
Absolutely, you will. Now, Gilberto Padilla on our YouTube page says Sunday, November 3rd. So that's coming up pretty soon, November 3rd. I guess, yeah, Sunday, November 3rd.
Yeah, not a fan.
Well, that's when it's coming. And apparently he's saying that Sunday, March 10th is when we sprang forward this year. So I don't know what it is next year, but
March 10th, huh?
That was this year.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
So it doesn't stay daylight savings time very long. And I say we get more of the regular than we do the savings. But I wish they would just stop, because every state can do that on their own. I mean, it doesn't take the federal government to do that.
Arizona stays on the same time.
I think Hawaii does too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if that really counts.
Well, I'm just saying they are a state.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're so far out. I mean, and so far behind. I don't know. Yeah, you want to know something that's kind of far up behind, and I made a comment on a friend of mine's Facebook post, and I keep getting all these updates, and I like making your head explode.
You're going to make my head explode?
Your head is going to explode.
All right, let's hear it.
3, 2, 1. You remember earlier this week?
Matt,
was it? I forget who from Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Matt Stepp tweeted out that he heard from a coach in North Texas whose kid, who had a player, quit the football team. And the kid quit the football team through his mother.
Through his mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the kid's a punter.
Okay.
And he quit the team. In mom's email to the coach that they're quitting because they don't punt enough.
Okay.
Hold on, Fledge. That's not what's going to make his head explode.
All right.
Another friend of mine who is a local high school coach, soccer coach, posts on Facebook today. I've been coaching for a long time and have heard a lot of funny excuses on why someone can't work out. But yesterday's excuse may be the best or worst yet. Player couldn't work out because he had a haircut scheduled for after school and didn't want to go there sweaty.
Well, and I hope the coach's response was then, well, I guess I can't play you in the game coming up. Care how good you are if you can't practice. But you know I blame for all this? Aaron Rodgers.
Wait, why is this Aaron
Rodgers? It's his fault.
It's his fault.
He takes a vacation in the middle of training camp.
Well, it was scheduled.
I don't care. So was his kid's haircut.
Well, I mean, this kid knows his workout. So I messaged the coach and said, this may end up on the show. I won't use your name or your school. He said, I'm fine with that. I walked away from the kid before I completely lost it on him. Kids are not the same as they used to be. I said, so did he miss the workout? Yep. I want to coach the kids that want to be here. Out of 50 players, 2 sitting out. Haircut kid and a kid that's legit recovering from injury. Frustrating. Haircut kid's a high-level player.
Well, that's too bad. I don't care how high-level he is. That dude is on the bench, and probably not just for one game. That dude's probably on the pine for several after pulling.
I mean, I know a lot of coaches, and a lot of them are frustrated. And this is why. Another coach chimed in on this thread and said he had a situation like that one time with a kid. And he said years ago, and he said, karma, that kid's bald now.
Serves you right. That's ridiculous. I mean, it really is ridiculous. But I do blame Aaron Rodgers because he started this. So the kids like, well,
you think Aaron Rodgers started it? That was in June.
Aaron got
that. That was in June.
It wasn't in June. It was training camp.
No, it was a mini camp in June in which he wasn't going to do anything anyway.
Doesn't matter.
No, I mean,
that's why
he didn't
talk
fire
about
his coach either.
You talk about karma. He's playing like crap.
You can't blame Aaron Rodgers for this kid. It's been going on for several years. You're just looking for any reason to blame Aaron Rodgers.
He's a bum.
He's a bum.
I am looking. That's ridiculous. And good for the coach to sit that dude. I don't care how good he is.
And again, restraint to just turn around and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would have started laughing in the kid's face, honestly.
Although I could see you at Alice High School back in the day, worried about your hair, which is always perfect. Coach, I can't wear a helmet. It would mess up my hair.
I might have said that a time or two.
Well, you didn't need a helmet. As much hairspray as you use.
Well, I didn't use hairspray in high school.
Back then, back then they didn't have helmets.
Plus, I had long hair back then.
Those old leather helmets that you'd fold up and use as your wallet after the game.
I had long hair back then. Trying to be that was kind of the style in the
long-haired hippie people.
We're right. I mean, it wasn't overly long, but it was.
It was above your ears.
It was longer. It was over the ears.
Over the ears.
Over the ears. Yeah. Down past the collar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then you had a dress code. I mean, you couldn't just go all, nuts.
Yeah.
In what you were doing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's why they had you in a wishbone offense playing wide receiver.
That's exactly right. It's exactly.
Reinegel's over there, won't mess up his hair. Diva wide receiver.
Jeez. That's exactly right. But those were the days. It was a lot of fun. Oh, my goodness.
I can't work out, Coach. I got a haircut appointment. I can't go there sweaty.
That's just.
Do they not wash your hair before your haircut appointment anyway?
Well, they do. It must have been a hot chick.
Oh.
Hot haircut person.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
At the super great sport place?
Well, who knows? This guy may have gone to a beauty shop.
Oh.
Some hot, I guess I can't say chick, can I?
Whoa. Hey.
Some hot chick in there cutting my hair.
Mm.
I get that, but I mean, schedule the damn haircut for Saturday.
Well, I might have a game.
Well,
could you imagine, Coach can't make the game? I got a hair appointment.
Yeah, sorry. This chick is really hot. You'd understand, Coach.
Yeah. I knew that'd make your head explode.
Unbelievable.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, you've heard these coaches, and I won't mention any of them by name, but you've heard some of these coaches say right now the parents are worse than the kids.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because every parent thinks their kid's the next Tom Brady, and got news for you. He's not.
He's not.
No.
Go get your haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk to John Machota from The Athletic coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star, this weekend's going to be glorious. You want to fire up that grill. Make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market before you do, because that great meal starts with great meat. You think about the college football schedule for Saturday. It's kind of a grazing day. Maybe do some fajitas, some wings, maybe a brisket, a picanha, tri-tip, somewhere you can just graze all day long. Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. Ribs, beef ribs, pork ribs, English crosscuts, their fajitas, tri-tip, the brisket burgers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special. Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Air Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. After a 2-week road trip, the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions at home.
I like this kind of party.
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
GimmeTheVin.com. Our expert buying team knows exotics, luxury cars, classics, diesels, lifted stuff, hot rods, inside and out. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. It's a one-stop shop to get into a pool of absolute experts. Join my YouTube channel, John Clay Wolf. GimmeTheVin.com. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Joe Reinagel here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Football season is here, and I-10 Ice House has your favorite matchup on massive 10-foot screens and daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out our tractor package deals. We're offering 0 down and 0 APR financing for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Cowboys, Lions, Sunday afternoon. Let's talk about it with our good friend John Machota from The Athletic, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line.
He's going to be conflicted, I think, this weekend. Right, John?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't say I'm conflicted. I got some friends and family coming into town. I think they'll probably be rooting for the road team, but no, I think I'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine as well. First off, I'm curious you could help us settle a little bit of a debate. Obviously, a lot made of Zeke and the dumbfounded comments from yesterday. What did you take from the Zeke media session yesterday?
So much that not only did I not write about it, I didn't even fire up a single tweet about it. That's how big of a deal I thought it was. He did say he talked to the coaching staff about, getting more opportunities in short yardage situations and things like that. But I took it as he probably wants to be out there more. He wants more opportunities, but I didn't catch him as like being very frustrated about it or, kind of like, I don't know, like being selfish. Like, why am I not getting these opportunities and Rico is? Like, I didn't get the sense that it was that type of thing at all. Like that he was, overly frustrated. But maybe, some other people took it a different way. I didn't personally feel that way out of I don't know. I feel like he talked for maybe like 3 minutes. And then I think the flip side is if you're a person who thinks that, Zeke's being done wrong and he needs to get all these extra touches, I think there's a part of it where you're like, well, I mean, I don't think they're doing anything in the running game that makes you feel like, oh, well, this guy deserves way more touches than the other. It's all been pretty similar. Now, Rico Dowdle looked like he took a step against Pittsburgh, but I don't think anybody thinks that all of a sudden they fixed all the run issues. Like, here we go. So I think that it's going to be a committee still going forward. I think Dalvin Cook will eventually get in the mix too, but I don't think anyone has done anything out of that running back group that would make you say, okay, well, they definitively got their number one guy.
Well, John, it seems like Jerry has a plan because we hear him on 105.3 The Fan this morning saying he knows that Rico's going to get hurt and he's saving Zeke and Dalvin for when that time comes. I mean, did you not take his comments that way?
He did bring up that Rico does have an injury history. I will also say, though, the position in general, the Adrian Petersons and the Derrick Henrys are kind of outliers for that position. It is one that usually there are a lot of injuries, not necessarily, season ending all the time, but just look at what Christian McCaffrey's going through. You take a lot of hits. So I get where he's coming from that, if Rico gets banged up, that'll be more opportunity for Zeke and Dalvin Cook, but they want to ride the younger guy a little bit more. I get where he's coming from. I just go back to what I just don't think that any of them are really to the level, like, because even with Dalvin Cook, like if you told me it's a Dalvin Cook that's anywhere close to what he was with the Vikings, well, he's not, there's no questions about him not playing. Like he's on the roster, on the active roster during games and he's getting 5 or 6 touches, but there must not be enough they've seen in practice where they're like, well, this will be significantly better than what we have right now. It's probably somewhat of a version of what they have right now, because I can tell you this, if one of those running backs were to get hurt or something happen where Dalvin comes up and Dalvin looks great, that's going to leave a lot of people scratching their head to why didn't you guys do this 4 or 5 weeks ago? I just don't get the sense that that's going to happen. I get the sense that what it's going to be like is a lot of times, and especially in college football, you complain about the starting quarterback because you can't stand him. You're like, well, put in the backup. The backup goes in and you find out real quick, oh, that's why that guy's the backup. He's not the answer either.
That sounds like a reference to what's going on at Texas A&M for sure. John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz, and I think it's just another indictment of the piss-poor job the front office did in addressing the running back situation during the offseason by either not signing somebody or at least drafting another good, young, capable running back. Now, we know that Detroit has 2 very good running backs that will be on full display at AT&T Stadium on Sunday. How are the Cowboys going to stop them with the news today that Eric Kendricks is out for the game? They're the quarterback of the defense. I mean, what do the Cowboys do defensively with all the injuries on that side of the ball?
Yeah, they're in big trouble. That's a running game with not just David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs that makes it great, but their offensive line's outstanding. So that was going to be a tough task for Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and Eric Kendricks, and now you don't have any of them. So the only thing I can come up with is you're going to need some long drives on offense to keep their offense off the field, because the Lions are not shy about it. If the running game's working, as much as Ben Johnson can come up with the trick plays with the best of them, if the run game's working, they will lean on it and they will go downhill on you. And I find it very hard to believe that's not their game plan when they've watched what the Ravens and they've watched what the Saints have done at AT&T Stadium against this Cowboys defense. And that was with those players that I mentioned that were healthy at the time. So it'll be interesting to see how they limit that running game, because not only is it talented and loaded, it's fresh. It's coming up of a bye week. And so the only thing I can come up with is have some long drives on offense that, eat up clock and you own the time of possession. You don't turn the ball over and you score points, because the Lions are going to score points. This is one of the better offenses in the league. I think for the Cowboys to win, they're going to need to score 30.
Well, yeah, I think so too. And John, I'm not even sure that'll be enough. I worry about the Lions being able to score at will, pretty much. I really do. I expect them to put a lot of points on the board, but I think the Cowboys should be able to move the football too. I mean, that Detroit defense has not been spectacular, other than Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to be a problem again for a Tyler Guyton. Do you see a scenario if Guyton is getting, I don't know, not having a good day, that they may change things up and go back to what finished the game in Pittsburgh?
I doubt that. I think it would have to be like Chaz Green in Atlanta bad. But then again, if Chaz Green is getting more help, then Chaz Green in Atlanta probably doesn't really happen and isn't one of those things in the back of people's minds that follow the Cowboys. So no, I don't think that'll happen. As long as Guyton's healthy, I think he'll be out there. What it's going to be is going to be what you've seen teams do to Micah Parsons. It's going to be what teams do on the other side of the ball to CeeDee Lamb. You got to send doubles all the time. He's got to be the one guy that you're like, we're not going to let Aiden Hutchinson just completely ruin this game. So that means tight ends chipping all the time, backs helping out over there. You constantly have to be aware of him. I mean, he had 3 sacks against the Cowboys last year in that game, and they had Tyron Smith. And so, yeah, and you could make the argument Hutchinson's playing even better. I mean, right now he's the odds-on favorite for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So they don't have, that other real big game changer on defense. They're solid on defense, but that's why in the offseason and free agency, they signed Marcus Davenport, because they know they needed another edge rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson to make teams pay for the doubles, and they don't have Davenport. He's injured. So, two, sometimes 3 guys have to be focused on Aiden Hutchinson in certain situations so that he can't wreck the game.
Absolutely. Marcus Davenport, of course, from UTSA. Disappointing that he's just battled injuries throughout the season. Now, John, you mentioned it would take about 30 points for the Cowboys to have a chance to win this game. Is this team capable of scoring 30 against that Detroit defense?
It is, but I don't think they can do it straight up. I think they would have to win the turnover battle. So maybe you get Detroit to make some mistakes where you can maybe, get a pick here or there. Maybe there's a fumble, maybe something on special teams. I don't think they can just do it straight up. Like if the Lions take care of the ball and play sound football, I don't see how the Cowboys get to 30. But if they can steal possession here or there, or maybe Cavante Turpin brings something in the return game, I think that they could there. Because while we sit there and just talk about Aiden Hutchinson that way, you don't think Detroit's talking the exact same way about CeeDee Lamb? Like, that they're going to live with Jalen Tolbert and Jake Ferguson and Cavante Turpin beating them after CD went for 227 and a touchdown on him, like that 92-yard touchdown, longest of CD's career. Like, they're not going to be very focused on taking him away. So it will have to be other guys, and maybe the run game will have to carry over from what it did in Pittsburgh. But again, very, very tall task. I'm stunned that the line is 3, and I just saw it recently moved to 3.5. I feel like the Lions should be at least a 6-point favorite in this game.
Oh, interesting. Now, you talk about the passing game, and I think every team, whether it's Detroit, San Francisco, moving forward, CeeDee Lamb's going to be the focus until Jalen Tolbert or somebody else can you make them pay the other way. He made Pittsburgh pay. Do you think this is, just from what you're seeing, maybe Jalen Tolbert's breakout year finally?
Yeah, it definitely could be. He's certainly, this is the most confident we've seen him, no question. And I think going to him on the game-winning play, I think is about as big of a confidence builder you can have. It's a tough environment. It's a situation where it's, if you don't make the catch, your team loses the game. You make the catch, your team wins the game. He didn't run a great route, so it wasn't like it was some perfect play either, but he adjusted, got back in the end zone. It wasn't like he was just wide open, and it was like one of those plays where you're like, well, I could have caught that. It was a tough catch. He had to be strong-handed to keep the ball away from his body because that DB was fighting him for it. So there's a lot of levels to that play alone, much less things that I've just seen at camp and then, throughout this season where I've seen his confidence build. But I think something like that, I don't know that he makes that play last year or the year before. So, yeah, I think he's ready for this, to take this bigger jump. I think it'd be a lot easier for him if, Brandon Cooks was out there as well. So he had a breakout game against the Steelers. And so, I think people will be very aware of him for sure.
Well, and again, with no Brandon Cooks there, he's getting some opportunities. And does the other Jalen Brooks now, can he step up and kind of help out in a situation where I just feel like, Detroit will take away CeeDee Lamb. Can one of the Jalens, somebody not just Jake Ferguson, be an outlet for Dak Prescott?
No question. I think Jalen Brooks could be the next guy. But if I was to list like their weapons that will be the most impactful in this game in order, CD would definitely be number 1, but I would have Ferguson 2, Jalen Tolbert 3, and the next guy for me would be Kevontae Turpin. I think in some man coverage, he could beat you on some big plays in the passing game, and they do trust him in the passing game. Dak trusts him in the passing game. Was just talking about him yesterday about that and his big play ability, and so Turpin would actually be the next guy up for me in terms of big impact, probably ahead of Jalen Brooks.
What about Dak Prescott? Do you see a scenario? I just go back to that Cleveland game, John, where they had Prescott moving around a little bit and buying some time and staying away from Myles Garrett. Do you see a similar scenario perhaps in this game to try and keep Hutchinson away?
Yeah, especially if Hutchinson's winning even through double teams. Yeah, they might be forced to do that. But if they can double him up, and obviously that'll cause you to be weak in some other areas. But if they can do that, Detroit's decent at defensive tackle. It's not, they're not star-studded or anything, but they can beat you with pressure up the middle too. So yeah, that could definitely be a scenario there. But I mean, you got to do whatever it is to keep Dak confident and comfortable, because ultimately there's no way he plays a bad game and they win this one, and he's played really well against the Lions. I just tweeted this a little while ago. He's 5-0 in his 5 games against the Lions. He's got like 118 passer rating, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception. I mean, he's played some really good ball against this team. Now, obviously, there's some different pieces from last year, but he's had some success. But yeah, I just don't see a path to victory for the Cowboys without a big game from Dak.
Well, and that said, and he's had an interesting week, demolished a house. He wasn't happy about that getting out the way that it did. But also the fact that they've lost a couple in a row at home, 3 if you go back to last year's playoff game, blown out in all of those. Watching his media session this week, there's seems added pressure on Dak Prescott to make sure they get a win at home, especially going into the bye week.
Yeah, for sure. But I do think that the way he's gone about this season, like he didn't play great against Pittsburgh, but he made some really big plays, obviously. Like I from being at that media session yesterday, I thought he was really confident, and even with talking about how when he was specifically asked about Detroit being a team that teams after they play Detroit usually struggle the next week. I believe that teams are winless after they play the Lions because it's a physical brand of football. There was a stat like that with the 49ers for a while, the last couple of years, and Dak just quickly responded with, well, we got to bye next week, so we're going to go win this game. I mean, and just was very confident about it. And then we'll go into the bye, and then we'll assess everything after that. And so I think he's very confident, despite obviously being at a big disadvantage when you look at the injuries between the two teams.
Detroit's own John Machota here on The Blitz covers the Cowboys for The Athletic, play and host this weekend. Now, I'm coming up tomorrow morning to go to Texas OU, checking one off my bucket list. I've never been to that game or the State Fair. I'd imagine if you've got people coming into town, at least a trip to the State Fair is in order for your Detroit people this weekend, huh?
It might be, but it might not as well, because I've been there for Texas OU, and sometimes that's not the best time to be there. It's pretty crowded. The other thing is, though, is that these people are Tigers fans, and the Detroit Tigers, their game got moved from being a night game tomorrow to it's a day game to beat the weather in Cleveland. So we're going to have to go somewhere to watch that game.
Priorities.
There you go.
Priorities. Yeah, absolutely. John, enjoy the weekend, man. We'll talk to you next Friday, or maybe
Sounds
not,
good,
since
guys.
it's a bye week. Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Let me know, though. I should be around.
All right, good stuff. John Machota, make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Follow him on Twitter at JON Machota, John Machota, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and
for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com.
And John even brought up, it is a little surprising that Detroit, while they're on the road, the line is what it is.
It is.
It's a lot. The line says this could be a really close game.
Well, yeah, it does, and it's moved from 3 to 3.5 back to 3 at BetUS.com right now. That's exactly where it is at 3. It's interesting, and Vegas knows. Maybe they know something that the rest of us just don't know, but that's the way it is. Look, if you want to get in on the action of that Cowboys-Lions game, you can certainly do that at BetUS.com. So easy to do, to sign up and get it. And this weekend, my goodness, with all the good football we've got this weekend, it is a perfect time to sign up at BetUS.com. You got Texas OU, Texas a 14.5-point favorite, the Oregon-Ohio State game, so many good games, and it just makes it that much more fun to have a little action on the game. I use BetUS.com. In fact, won last night with San Francisco minus 5.5. Very happy about that to get my weekend off on the right foot. You can do the same thing. BetUS.com, and right now a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's incredible, and you heard me right. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. It's incredible. They got everything you need, whether it's competitive odds, you want to bet a parlay, live betting, odds boost, prop betting, all of it. You can do that at BetUS.com. They even have casino games there that you can play. Get signed up. Do it today so you're ready for all the action tomorrow and Sunday. BetUS.com is where you go. It's really easy to sign up. Or if you'd rather talk to a live person, you can do that as well. 1-800-MY-BET-US. 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS. It's where the game begins.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, so much football in so little time. And Major League Baseball, the championship series are set. We'll break them down for you. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Football season is here. Look no further than the I-10 Ice House, your neighborhood sports headquarters with over a decade of excellence. Catch every college or NFL game plus must-see pay-per-view events on massive 10-foot screens. And don't forget, I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House, located at 9518 Console Drive, proudly serving our community for over 10 years. I-10 Ice House.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GAME to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Football season is here, and I-10 Ice House has your favorite matchup on massive 10-foot screens and daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Glad to have you along on this Football Friday. You bring something up a little while ago. I did about a Facebook message or Facebook post that I saw from a local area coach having a kid didn't want to go to practice because he didn't want to be sweaty because he had a haircut appointment.
Jeez.
And the amount of responses. There's one. Let's see. Meep UTSA tweets at Joe Reinagel 210 at Jason Minnix. We had a kid once miss a varsity football game because he needed a fresh cut because he was standing in a quinceanera on Saturday. What? I realize we're going to sound like the old get off my lawn guys.
I don't care.
I could only imagine how Mummy, hey, coach, I got to get a haircut. I mean, just for normal, we used to do bear crawls across the band parking lot during two-a-days. Back in my day when we got 2 water breaks an hour, whether we needed it or not, plus salt pills, which we realize now are bad, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine telling your coach, it's one thing to miss a practice. Apparently, this kid missed a game.
Dude, I'm going to tell,
on varsity.
That would have been the last game I'd ever played. Yeah. I don't care how good I was or whoever that was. That would have been it. So you go get your hair cut and just have a nice day and don't ever come back. Turn in your equipment and you're done. I mean, that's the way it would have been back in those days, in my day. And the sweaty kid who didn't want to be sweaty for his haircut, I guarantee you I'd have been the sweatiest I've ever been because I'd have been running and running and running and running. It's just a different time now than it was then. But look, you either play or you don't.
I mean,
it's just that simple.
I mean, get a good haircut because you hope that you don't have long hair after all the running you're going to do afterwards, or you're no longer in. Some of the coaches and what they have to deal with today.
It's unbelievable.
I wish there were some coaches
with these Stones. Like, I've got one in mind. He retired. He doesn't give a damn anymore. But
that's partly why he retired. I think if I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. But I think it would be comical to have a handful of coaches do a segment with all the excuses that they have heard.
You know, that would be a great segment.
Or maybe a great book one day.
Yeah, yes.
But at the same time, how do you deal with them? I mean, I realize dealing with kids today is different than when we were growing up. You have 5 daughters. You know that, from your oldest ones to your youngest ones, they get treated differently. My buddy John has one in high school right now, and mine's not that far out of high school either. And, just the differences between Erica and Emery. I mean, it's just nuts seeing one that's in high school now versus, I don't know.
Dude, when I was in high school or in school in general, if I got in trouble at school, I get in more trouble when I got home. Parents didn't question why I got in trouble. I got in trouble, so you must have done something wrong, and I'd get in more trouble when I got home. So, and back then too, they used to take you out in the hall and paddle your butt.
Yes. Yeah, I got the paddle from Mr. Powell at Copperas Cove High School more than once.
Mr. Howard was our guy.
Mr. Howard?
Yeah, Mr. Howard.
Glenn Powell was our principal.
Well, Joe Howard was the vice principal, but he was in charge of discipline.
No, it was a sword. And then my dad had this leather belt. He had this big old, Mr. Powell had this wood paddle. And I tell you, you put your hands back there to try to block it, man, you'll break a finger.
Yeah.
But I think that one really just made more noise. But my dad's leather belt had all these metal rings. Like, I don't know if he was a part of the KISS Army at one point, but it kind of looked, and that was just the spanking belt. He never wore that thing. And all my mom used to have to say is, wait until your father gets home. And she would put the belt on the couch, and my dad would walk in. And if he saw the belt there, he didn't ask any questions. He would just say, which one?
That's it. It was just a different time, man. But there were no, parents going up to the school and why are you treating, little Joey wrong? It's not that. You got in trouble at school. You're in trouble here at the house. And it was usually worse.
I just still can't get over the punter quitting the team.
Unbelievable.
With his mother emailing the coach, you don't punt enough. That's a good thing.
That's a really
good thing.
And just keep punting, kid, because you make a good living in the NFL doing that. But just keep it up. But unbelievable. It's just crazy stories, and to think that kind of stuff goes on. But look, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. I mean, there's some really good athletes out here, Reagan, Johnson, and all the other high schools that take this stuff seriously and are dedicated to it and do a good job. So I think it's a minority of kids that are getting their haircuts when they're supposed to be practicing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then again, that girl that was cutting his hair, she might have been hot.
Might have been. Better have been.
Yeah, she better have been.
Maybe he just told the coach he was getting a haircut because he was going to do something else.
Yeah.
Which, again, at 16, your priorities are different.
Well, that's true.
I would rather hear that. I honestly, I think as a coach, I'd rather hear the honest.
Well, I'd rather hear it too, but you'd still get in a lot of trouble.
Well, I mean, coach, man, I got to miss practice. My girlfriend's parents are out of town.
Yeah.
All right. I get it.
I got to warm up the pipes. I only have an hour, coach, and this is it right now. I got to go. You know how it is.
Let's do Prime Picks.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
We do this every week for our embarrassment, obviously, especially one at Joseph Reinagel.
Horrible week.
Is coming off another subpar week. Last week, Joe went 4-6. Pledge went 5-5. I went 6-4 last week. On the year, Pledge is in the lead, 41-19. I'm second, 40-20. There's Reinagel back there, 5 games back at 35-25.
It's early.
It's early. Week 7. Let's go through the picks. The Red River rivalry, Texas and OU. Anybody picking Oklahoma in this game?
No, I think Texas rolls in this game. I don't think it's going to be close.
551 and OU still sucks.
Yes, indeed. Game day will be in Oregon. Ducks hosting Ohio State in the traditional Big Ten battle.
You know what? This is going to be a tough game. There's no doubt. But I'm going with the home team in this one, the Oregon Ducks. I just think for some reason Ohio State traveling out to the West Coast is going to be not good for them, and the Ducks win a close one.
I like Oregon, but I've watched a lot of Oregon this year, and Duck Boy, my niece's husband, was just in town last week. He's overly nervous about this game.
Oh, he should be.
And quarterback play hasn't been where it is, but also the defensive line. I know he's rooting for Oregon, but if he were laying money, it would be on Ohio State. He would stay away. I'm taking the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I'm taking the Buckeyes. Will Howard, that defense.
Yeah, whatever.
Ole Miss and LSU.
Dude, I just think Ole Miss is a good football team, and they lost last week, and I think they're going to take it out on LSU this week. I know that's in Baton Rouge, but Ole Miss rebounds and they win this game.
Night game, Death Valley.
Yeah,
go Tigers.
I like Jackson Dart. I like Lane Kiffin, and I hate Brian Kelly.
All good reasons.
All
Pledge.
great reasons.
Yes.
Kansas State, Colorado.
I can't believe you two knuckleheads taking Kansas State in this game.
What do you
Colorado at home. They're playing good football. They are going to run circles around Kansas State.
Circles, you say?
Circles
Apparently,
around Kansas
you
State.
have yet to watch a Kansas State game. Now, I like Colorado, and at home, what Travis Hunter, who should win the Heisman, all of that. I just think Kansas State is the better football team. But I'll say this. If Colorado gets this win, as you are predicting, you've got to seriously start talking about them as a playoff
You
team.
absolutely do. I just think Prime's got them playing well right now.
That's amazing how much a couple of weeks can change things. Weren't you trashing Shador and Prime for throwing the offensive line under the bus just 3 weeks ago?
Yes, and see, they learned from their mistakes, Pledge. They can do that.
I'm taking Kansas State. Best team in the Big 12, in my opinion.
UTSA on the road against Rice. I think this is a good get-right game for the Roadrunners.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're going to win this game, and all will be right in the world.
On to the NFL. Baltimore and Washington. Battle of the D.C. area.
I like the Ravens to win, but they won't cover.
All right,
it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, we pick straight up here. I like Baltimore as well. Washington's going to remember they're Washington.
It's going to be a good game.
And Baltimore gives rookie quarterbacks fits.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Arizona against Green Bay. We're all taking the Packers. Kyler Murray beat San Francisco.
Yeah, he did, but that's, it's a one-off.
All right. Indianapolis against Reinagel's Tennessee Titans.
And I'm taking Tennessee, not because they're my Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Homer.
Look, I just don't trust Indianapolis. I don't trust.
You trust Will Levis?
Well, I trust him more than Anthony Richardson at this point in time. Richardson's not playing good football. No, I don't trust Will Levis. And if he does something stupid again, I will swear them off for the rest of my life.
You're such a liar.
No, I'm not. I will. If they're letting that knucklehead play, and if he does something stupid again, I'm done with him.
Uh-huh.
That both of you, yeah, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Pledge is taking the call.
And I got to take some chances anyway. I got to catch up.
Good thing Anthony Richardson hasn't been playing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing this week.
Research.
Right. He is.
Will he finish the game?
Well, I doubt it.
Yeah, exactly. All of us are taking the Texans against New England. Dallas and Detroit. This makes me extremely nervous. Watching morning TV, everybody's taking Detroit. Everybody is taking Detroit. All of us taking Detroit.
It's going to take a monumental effort for the Cowboys to win this football game. If they were healthy going in, I would say Dallas has got a good shot. But the fact that they are entirely banged up, not to mention the fact they've played 2 physical games in a row with the Giants and the Steelers, I just think it takes its toll. They're ready for the bye week.
Yeah, they might be. The injuries on defense. Eric Kendricks, that's a huge loss. Taking the Lions.
All right, everybody is.
All right. We'll see.
All right, I got to catch us. It's my get right week.
Sure.
It's my get right week.
Look at that, Joe, falling farther and farther behind.
My get right week.
Yeah, exactly.
Me
That's
and
what it is.
UTSA.
Extra innings with Pledge coming up next. In an hour, we'll have high school football for you here with Reagan taking on Johnson. You think about all the games this weekend, especially the games on Sunday in the NFL. Make sure you're trying to win yourself some money at UnderdogFantasy.com playing the Pick'em game. Man, I thought I was going to win some money last night. I didn't. I had the Seattle kicker with over higher than 1.5 field goals, and he had one. So I didn't make that money last night. I'll try again on Sunday. It's easy to do. It's fun to play. Go to their app or go to the website UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason